computer is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is eRacing GP, the final round of GE17. My name is Victor Cax. Joining me here is Ammo, and we're going to be here to bring you guys the action and the very end of this very season. So, what do we have on the cards here today, Ammo?
Championship deciders.
Exactly.
All around. Every single class at least have two drivers or more mathematically with a chance of winning the title. So, again, as you commented before in TGR Festival Malaysia, those final rounds, people just go for broke. No one cares about nice cities anymore. You know what's at stake. It's the final round of the season. Somebody has to give.
After we saw like the chaos that happened 2 weeks ago, well, I think we might be seeing another one again, because this time we're going to a complete new track here for the eRacing GP. So let's go ahead and have a run through the graphics right now to give you guys a recap of how it has gone on throughout this season here. So here are our current championship leaders. For the gold class, we've got Chester Lam from Hong Kong. For the silver class, we've got Alonso Marcus Lacambra. We also have Ethan Lau for the bronze class. He comes from Malaysia. And last but not least, in the copper class, SM Fauzi is leading that class here for Malaysia. As we have a look at the team standings here, Pepega still remains on top of the board here, 328 points here, which puts them almost 90 points clear of Handshake Sim Racing MY. It's been a very close competitive season between these two teams, hasn't it, Emo?
Yep, indeed. And the top two teams here might still all within earshot of each other. 90 points separate them, but again, you never know how the final round plays out because, you know, team tactics can come to play. But we'll see first how that pans out. The rest of that top five, maybe the battle for third is the best of the rest, but for sure, our eyes will be focusing on team standings once the results are tabulated at the end of this round.
Exactly, and as we have a look now at the Nations Cup standings here, Malaysia, of course, are still at the very tip top, given that we have a lot of Malaysians running in GE17 here. Philippines not too far behind, although when I say that, still literally 330 points behind here, but nevertheless, we've been seeing plenty of Filipinos, very fast Filipinos out here in our races here, haven't we?
Indeed, and they are all represented in all four classes as well, so it's fair to say that Malaysia will have a handle on this, one hand on the trophy, because it's an insurmountable advantage up in front. It's just a matter of playing for keeps here, as the rest of the other countries taking part as well. We already have Singapore and Australia taking part in the races, but unfortunately no points.
Yep.
And we might potentially have a few more nations joining because there was a big surge of sign-ups coming into this final round. So watch this space. We might give a highlight to them in the other classes.
And also, it will be interesting to see if Indonesia, which is only 40 points behind the Philippines, if they're going to be able to get some good points. It's probably going to be in this round itself. Let's have a look now at what we had throughout the season here. We started things off in G17 in Fuji Speedway for round number 1. Then we went to Sokol circuit in Kazakhstan for round number 2. Round number 3 saw us go to Buriram circuit, and now we're going to be going to India to Buddh International Circuit. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Buddh Circuit has been part of the F1 calendar for just about 3 seasons, give or take, and since then has not hosted another major racing series except for MotoGP in 2023. But then again, due to the magic of sim racing here, we can come back to this track here and use it for our season finale.
Yeah, I can hear Big Star's team play in the background when we see the circuit. But yeah, definitely it's quite a shame that it was a Tailcadrome that had some characteristics, but unfortunately, due to the economic situation in India, plus other circuits trying to come into the calendar in that last decade, it has been by the wayside. But luckily, the circuit is still in use in the real world. And for us, what could be more than just a very good finale to the season? This circuit, relatively unknown, it might just bring a surprise in terms of the racing.
Yeah, it's a very fast circuit, even when you see that. I mean, 5.1 kilometers, it's actually particularly long as well. It's still a clockwise circuit, got 16 corners, pretty technical in some sections as well. So this will be a very, very interesting racetrack to see how drivers come in. And oh, yeah, Chesalam, thank you for giving us the tip in the chat there. Yes, Vettel, in fact, does have a 100% win rate at this very circuit.
And famously, he gave salute bowing to the Red Bull RB8 that he won his 4th and final World Championship at the Buddh circuit before the start-finish race. So one of the most iconic pictures in F1 history for sure. And for these guys, will they get to do the same like Vettel did? We'll wait and see first. Yeah, you can see the segue that we got into that. That is perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect indeed. So we've gone through the tracks. Now let's have a look at the cars. It's still the same ones we've been running all season long. It's been a very, very favorite choice amongst all of our drivers here. Gold class, of course, being the Le Mans hybrid cars. Silver class, we're using the Le Mans prototype 2s. FIA GT3s for the bronze class. And last but not least, FIA GT4 Porsche Caymans for the bronze class. And so far, I mean, I think there's going to be something interesting coming to the next GE season, because I believe one new car is going to be joining the lineup here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for those who are in the Racing Rats Discord, unfortunately we can't release it now, and the car is just so new, but the Aston Martin Valkyrie has actually been made for this mod pack, so we'll get to use it next season. So watch this space. Some people who love that screaming V12 and no noise abatement, by the way. We don't have any of those nonsense that we have in real life. You can just scream that V12 out as much as you want, but it won't be here for this round, but we will do that next season. And now the next thing that we have to do is a return of another little nicety that we're going to put into this. It's the race format, and this will be format B, like we used in round 2 at Sokol. It's a half-an-hour race with a 10-minute qualifying prior to that. But look at the points on offer. It is a lot. But the thing is, if you count it all up in a roundabout way, it's about the same for the race winner. But nonetheless, it can make or break a season.
Yeah, this one is really going to test your ability to endure here, because it's going to be one full 30-minute race. We're not going to be splitting things into two. There's not going to be reverse grids. It's purely going to be based on qualifying results there. And well, with 40 points for first place, you definitely will see our championship leaders wanting to get onto that top spot here.
Indeed. And that is also a nice little segue to the next info that we're going to show on our screen. It is the driver standings. Now, this is actually part 1. This is when the color, the points, the fonts are in black, means this is the points they scored accumulated so far over the 3 rounds. SM Fauzi in front of Duran Abisekera, but when you flip the script, now it's a surprise that SM Fauzi, despite having a very poor first round, his last 2 rounds have been so good that it counts towards his tally at this point. So he is still well ahead of Adria Ahmed and Duran Abisekera, but don't discount out any surprises that might come into this round, because you never know if championship jitters can come in the way.
And again, it's like a 30-minute race here, so if you mess up literally in the first part of this race, you're literally cutting your chances of scoring good points by half here. So that's going to be a lot of pressure for SM Fauzi, even though he is quite clear in terms of points, but we'll still see. It's still not over until it is over here in the eRGP. So let's go ahead and have a look at qualifying. We've already been running 7 minutes out of our 10-minute qualifying here, so 2.5 minutes, so give or take. It still remains here as Abisekera currently on top of the board here. 202.6, very respectable time for him. Only Fahim Hatta has been able to match a 202, but just only got in there 202.9. During practice, though, I did see a lot faster times here, especially for some of our other front runners in the championship. So I'm going to be hoping to see the times begin to collapse soon as this qualifying is coming to a close.
Indeed, and the fact that Randy Go and Duran Abisekera, while we were doing the views in the background, we were seeing on our screen that they were practicing dicing each other actually. So Randy was in front of Duran and they were both probably giving each other some respect here on how to drive. But it was clean for the most part. It's just that you never know if they're keeping their powder dry for the race to come. As you can see, Tehan Neranga's already popped in. Unfortunately, we have not seen the best of him this season because he hasn't competed in any of the rounds. But the bronze champion, he knows a thing or two how to clutch it in qualifying. Remember that last round, he literally last gas qualifying, and look at that. Duran Abisekera, as we were talking about last gas, he nearly had a huge gasp there with the car sliding around. So that's probably a potential slipping point for a few drivers. But Abisekera doesn't have to go through what Tehan did, qualifying on pole in the dying seconds. He already has it.
Whoa,
but
another one.
Look at that. I think he's fluffed it a bit, and hopefully he doesn't actually bog that car behind, because that is Yash Koyum, who is actually trying to help out a fellow sister team, shall we say, because Handshake and DDSRT have a good close working relationship. So we might see some inter-team strategies being played. And of course, behind Durand and Adrian Ahmed is Fahim Hatta for the TGS Pantera team. Now, that might be a point of contention as well, because they are not out of this championship fight either.
No, they're not indeed. I mean, so far he is the fastest out of the TGS Pantera team. Aiden Yee is still way low into 203s, although, Jordan McNeil now getting closer and closer, but still not quite under the 203s yet. Still about 50 milliseconds under, but Randy Go has now joined his fellow teammate. As Randy is one of the drivers I saw during practice who was able to pull a really impressive practice time. Let's see if he's going to be able to repeat that later on for this qualifying session. So this Buddh International Circuit, very new for all of our drivers here, especially in this copper class. So that's why you can see some of them really trying to learn and understand sort of the intricacies of this very track. We're on board right now with Adrian Ahmed. This is also another driver to watch out for here today, because I believe, as you has pointed out before the start of the stream, he might just be a dark horse here in this competition.
Indeed, and there is AG right now. His screen is getting bigger and bigger. We used to see him really slouched in behind the wheel. Now he's got some extra padding. Still waiting for that growth spurt to come. But either way, he is coming around the final corner. He is actually up on his previous time. So let's see if he could nail it here and set himself for 5 good points. But he runs very wide. Let's see if that actually hurts his lap time. Across the line he goes. And will that be an improvement?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, but we'll wait and see. No, 500's off, and he stays second with Abisekera still out on track as he actually bought his lap. No, in fact, he's going for it. And there's support for TGS Pantera. Uncle Lukman, who's one of, I think, a close associate to the Panteras. He is willing on the team, but Hatta right now has come across the line, 202.9. His qualifying session has come to an end, so he is the fastest among the Panteras. Randy Go is in 4th, McNeil in 5th, so an armada of TGS Pantera boys right there. But here comes Abisekera. Can he push the point home? But Fauzi goes ahead. No! Fauzi is a 0.5. He has done it. Can Abisekera do it? No!
No.
He's not. He is actually now in 2nd place in the championship, further behind here. So Fauzi kept his powder dry all the way to the end and gets the pole position.
Yeah, and Thiago Pereira also put in a time good enough for the top 3 here, so he goes on to the next row next alongside Adrian Ahmed. Kayum and Hatta will be taking that 3rd spot, or will they though, as Randy Go puts in a time good enough for top 5 here, so he dethrones Kayum from that from that spot. So now let's see if there's any more challengers for the throne right now. More checker flags are coming in. Aiden Yee only good enough for 17 place. I think I just saw Bradley Liu only good enough for 12 right now. We still have a few more cars out on track there. Actually, 3 more cars still coming around until the final bend here. But I believe this should be Fauzi's race to lose here, really. Wow, just pulling that off in the last moment of qualifying here. This is looking like an absolutely electrifying finale here for Cop Class.
And not just his race to lose, his championship to lose now.
Yeah.
5 points on the board. That will just make the molehill that Abby Sakara had to climb become a literal mountain now to just atop him. It's way beyond insurmountable. And it's not way beyond insurmountable, but it is becoming more and more improbable the more we are watching it right now. So that is it for qualifying. We're waiting to see who else is out on track. In fact, Ezra Collin is stopped it here. Now we're getting ready for the race.
Yeah.
Half an hour to go to decide the final race of the entire season. And boy, oh boy, Format B last time out threw some surprises, but it was a bit of a slow burner race, shall we say?
Usually it is. I mean, again, when you're talking about a longer form race, your priority, especially during the start, is not to overuse your tires because you know you have to save that same set all the way to the end. So normally you're going to see a lot of them, probably only battle out for that first lap or so, but after that, it's really all about maintaining a good and consistent pace and then saving all of the energy for the final 5 minutes, and that's where really the race actually begins, practically for this competition here. But again, especially with the championship on the line, it's still it's going to be a lot of pressure here, especially for Abe Sakara right now, who is like despite missing out that pole, he's still going to be starting alongside SM Fauzi, so he still could try to get a few points off of him. But in terms of that championship distance here, again, it's a very tall mountain for him to climb at this point.
Indeed, 81 points to 59. That's 32 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, 22 points.
22. Okay.
Yeah. So 49 points in total here. He's already lost 5. So he needs to win back those 44 points through the race win and fastest lap. So it is still possible. You never know what's going to happen in the race, but that start is going to become all the more important for Durand if he wants to try and get at the back of SM Fauzi, who will be really feeling quite bullish after taking it right at the death.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're now 1 minute away for our final race for the Copper class here. This is the final race of the Global Edition number 17. It has been a long time coming now to get to this moment here. Let's see if all the efforts that our drivers have pulled off over the last season, has it all come to bear here. I mean, for SM Fauzi especially, he's going to be feeling very relieved for sure for being able to take this pole position, because this is a crucial round here for him. And, it's never about how you start, it's always about how you finish. And especially in these kind of competitions, it is definitely more of a marathon rather than a sprint.
Indeed, and for Abe Sakara's teammate, for example, Sharanya Mendes, right at the back, this is what he has to go through. But for Fauzi, that's the round of turn 1.
Yeah, so here we go. The lights on the gantry are going on. 6 lights to go here, and as soon as they are off, we will be on now for the Copper class final race of GE17. Fauzi's got a good start here. Abe Sakara under pressure here from Thiago Pereira. Thiago, who managed to get himself out into P3 in qualifying here, is now going around the outside here, hoping to try to catch position. You can see Adrian actually slipping onto the inside here, not able to get past Durando. Durand has been able to keep him just behind him and stays in P2. Adrian is now going to try to attack it in the next corner here. He has the apex. This time around, he will be side by side, but I think he's just a little bit ahead here. Abe Sakara, and yes, indeed, he will be ahead into P2.
Here's that run up to the back straight here, coming up to a sharp hairpin, and Fauzi has done what he needed to do. He had the whole shot and a good start off the line, but behind here, look at Randy Go. Randy Go is also one of those guys trying to battle for the title. Side by side with Abe Sakara coming to the hairpin. Are they going to touch? That's very, very close. It's a fanning out. Oh, Qayyum! Qayyum nearly ran into the back of Abe Sakara. As you can see, a few drivers in between trying to slot in. But I think, for the most part, it was a clean start here, Vic.
Yeah, it was a very clean start, but not the cleanest of starts here for Abe Sakara. Now he's under attack by Jordan McNeil, who's managed to slip in alongside and into the apex ahead of him now. He's moved up here to 4th place. Abe Sakara right now is feeling very miffed, I expect, at this point here. Has lost so many positions, and we're not even through for the first lap. Jordan McNeil goes off, though. Abe Sakara is going to come back, gets almost blocked a little bit, but is able to hang it alongside. Now he will be able to retake the position. Can he get even more, though? Getting true. Just cutting right in front of Hata there. Just nicely done. He gets back up into P4.
And he might be a bit miffed that Thiago Pereira, his fellow countryman there, wasn't doing him much favors. He was fighting in out of all of that, and surprisingly manages to hang on because he went off the road quite a couple of times, but hangs it together. He's still P6 somehow here. But up in front, Fauzi is making a beeline for it. He already pulled a bit of a gap, 1.5 seconds in front of Adri, with Randy in 3rd. Now that was a crucial start for all 3 of them to try and actually win back their championship disadvantage to Fauzi. Meanwhile, we're going to look at drivers further behind, because it looks as though that is quite a battle between Damien Arif and Nimesh Dean as they come out to the final corner. This is looking pretty close. Coming up now.
Oh, nice. No, Nimesh Dean. Wei Cheng Wong able to get alongside and actually cuts him off at the exit. Good maneuver there, to stay ahead. Nimesh Dean now trying to hold his position here while Damien Arif now attempts to try to keep up with him. So it looks like nice and tidy here for the Sri Lankan in the hit. David Arif is going to have to try again in a few more laps, but then again, we still got a lot of time remaining here in this race. So a lot of time right now for all these drivers to start thinking about the long-term strategy here. So Fauzi, as we have mentioned, he's already pulled a decent gap ahead of Adrian Ahmed. 1.5 seconds should be enough for him to keep good control for this first phase of the race. Now it's going to be a battle to see who's going to be able to keep those consistent lap times now going towards the middle and of course towards the end. Duran goes on the inside here of Melvin Malik, who's right away getting lapped here, but Fayef Hata is going to try to use this opportunity to keep up alongside him and should be able to get past Melvin Malik nicely. Abe Sikera has managed to recover up into P4 now from P5 earlier on, but he's still definitely trying to get a chase on in order to get back onto the podium position, but it's 2 seconds off from where Randy Go is, and with Fahim Hata continuing to pressure him all throughout, this is turning out to be quite a titanic effort for him out in this race.
Yeah, Melvin Malik, aka Miles Shinoda, really not doing favors for the rest of the field because he is a mobile chicane, and this is not the first time he's done it. We saw it previously in Sokol that he was a lap behind and actually did that. So Format B races seems to be his Achilles heel, and more so. Look at that. Drivers flashing just now, and there was it! Ezra Collin has actually whacked the side of Melvin Malik, and he's still not there. He's still there, and then Ezra Collins spins into the grass. That might be grounds for a protest after this.
Oh, that's for sure. That did not look too good on Melvin Malik's part there. He looked like he was just blocking Ezra Collins all through that corner here. So, well, Wei Shen Wong and Nimesh Dean are now approaching him here. They should be able to find a way through here. So, this really slow section going into the main straight. Nimesh Dean's taking this opportunity to try to get a nice run up onto Wei Shen Wong on the exit. Has to go for it. We're going for a little bit of a bump draft there, really.
Yeah, yeah, he was. And I don't know if it could help him out because remember, damage is on, so he doesn't want to hurt the front splitter and cost him hero points. But tell him that.
Damn.
There we go. More and more contact there. Beside the Heaven Burns Red Karen car of Nimesh, Wei Shen Wong with Nimesh Dean just bumping him aside. The Infinity Racing Team guy probably wouldn't mind that too much because he is holding the line, but now he's dropped the position. He can just recoup there. But look at further in front there. Pereira, Yash Koyum, and Jordan McNeil are fighting line astern.
Yeah, Pereira lost quite a few positions actually since the last time we saw him around. Now he's down to 7, fighting with Jordan McNeil, trying to go around the outside, but Jordan has a defensive line. He should be able to take this pretty nicely. And Yash Koyum is going to use this opportunity as well, try to slip in. And yes, he slips ahead of Thiago Pereira, moves up into 7th place. So this three-way battle is getting a little bit spicy right now because Thiago Pereira's lost so many positions now and might be stuck behind him for quite a bit. Yash Kayum continue to keep the pressure up onto Jordan McNeil. Thiago Pereira trying his very best to keep up with the two of them here. Ooh, this is a very spicy three-way battle.
Indeed, and you can see Koyum there really wanting to have a piece of the action as well. A piece of the circuit. He just launched the car up. He has the inside line. This is the part of the circuit that we saw just now. Duran nearly lost it during qualifying on the curb on the outside. It is such a memorable corner to say the least because it has a bit of banking, a bit like Shanghai, which is where F1's racing this weekend. Has a bit of a banking, but not as fast as Turkey's Turn 8 multiple corner complex. Nonetheless, it is a feature of the circuit that probably is the standing out point for this, and probably we'll see more and more sideways battles there. Either way, McNeil loses a bit of time through that particular corner, and now Koyum's ready to jump it on the inside. Can he do it?
Tries to go for the dive, but Jordan McNeil still managed to outbrake him, still stays with good average speed throughout that corner. So not quite side by side though. Randy Go in the meantime caught up to Adrian Ahmed. Oh boy, looks like he's already in position to try to hook onto the inside. Adrian's doing level back right now. A touch between the two of them forces Adrian into the wall.
Unfortunately, that livery by yours truly is getting a bit of airtime. Is probably not the best way possible, but that will be another grounds for protest because it looked as though they had side-by-side action. As you can see behind, that was the battle we were focusing on earlier. McNeil and Koyum are now jumping on them like gangbusters.
Yeah, this is now turning into a four-way battle here. Though Thiago Pereira still not too far behind, but he's lost a bit of time actually in the last few corners. So right now it's still effectively a three-way battle, but Qayyum is right now all over Jordan McNeil here, as we see as well.
Melvin Malik's still there.
Yeah, Melvin Malik's still there actually.
Oh.
Moving onto the inside there. Yash Qayyum looks like he might just have this, but Jordan McNeil is pulling an impressive fight right now, staying alongside him through this corner. Now another left-hand sweeper is coming up here, so that will give a bit more advantage here to Jordan McNeil. Qayyum is going to have to do a little bit more work here if he wants to try to get past.
Yeah, but we're going to stay on board with Pereira because he is the cameraman in this shot. He has the box seat to this action, and you can see Qayyum and McNeil are still at it, even to just a few laps. And remember, this is not even a 15-minute sprint. This is a slightly longer one. It's not endurance though. Half an hour wouldn't be considered endurance, but it is slightly more than what they are used to. So they really shouldn't be fighting this hard. There's still more than two-thirds of the race left to go after this, and they're fighting as if it's on the final lap.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just push all to the way here. I think Fahim Hatta is already catching up to Abe Sekera, so let's see how the battle's going on. He dives onto the inside here of Abe Sekera. Still not able to find the exit speed, though. Abe Sekera still stays on the podium, but Fahim Hatta is putting up another push once more as we enter onto the main straight. This is going to be a crucial one here for Fahim. He can get a good exit speed out of this. Should be able to still stay onto Duran's tail here.
Yeah, let's see then. Onto the start-finish straight again, and this time, Duran is not going defensive because he had a bit of a leg up on Fahim coming out of the final corner, but the TGS Pantera driver, a new recruit, shall we add, because they really added on the number of drivers. You can see the black icons on the side of the drivers' names, the Pantera logo. That's how many they have, in fact. In the top 15 alone, it's about 6 of them.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say though, for Duran, I mean, he's definitely gonna be really thankful that he's been able to get back up onto the podium here. But with Fauzi still at least 7 seconds ahead of Abe Sekera, you know, his championship chances still looking very much up in the air right now. Thiago Pereira gets a good run up now onto Yash Qayyum. Should have the speed right now to keep alongside him into the next turn, but this one probably going to be a lot more defensive here for Qayyum as he takes onto the middle of the track here. He tries to keep himself way ahead. Thiago Pereira focusing on the exit here. Should be able to close up the distance, but still not quite the move made yet here.
Yeah, we're going to jump to Nimish Dean because he has the view of this. Look at that. Pereira on the inside, but Qayyum hangs onto it. And you can see that behind him is not a driver on the lead lap because it's still Melvin Malik not actually giving up the fight, though I'm not sure why in this Format B race, this is the second time in a row that we mentioned in Format B that he actually is a lap behind, so I'm not sure what he's doing right now to just race the front runners. It might be helping Fauzi, but if he really wants to play team spoiler, he would have been actually in front of Abe Sekera, but he's not doing so.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation for sure, but at least the worst of it is past them, at least for the top 9 or so, as right now Wei Shen Wong, looking a little bit messy there. Bradley Liu actually got the run over him, and look at that, just fighting onto Ronaldo there.
Yeah.
Trying to find his way through, and does actually slip right through there. Bradley Liu up into 11th place. Wei Shen Wong able to capitalize on this moment here to also move up a place ahead of Ronaldo, but it's still not quite over. Still very much a battle between the two of them. And so Ronaldo right now facing a bit of pressure from Aiden Yi around the outside. Still managed to close up on the exit here.
And sorry, Vic, but between all of that, Nimesh Dean actually dropped behind. He was in that top 10. So all change here somehow. Maybe Melvin Malik had something to do with it.
Maybe, but well, what a topsy-turvy situation it's been, and we're only just into the first 10 minutes of this race. Aiden Yi yet again continuing to hound Ronaldo. Tries to find an opportunity, cannot quite find the moment to dive yet. Still trying to buy this time a little bit. Seeing that Wei Shen is actually blocking Ronaldo a little bit, making him actually go for some unusual lines here. Tries to go for the dive on the inside. There does Ronaldo. Wei Shen Wong goes a little bit wide. Aiden Yi is going to try to follow behind. He will be side by side with Wei Shen Wong through this straight now. Bit of a bumpy one indeed, as he's going a little bit uphill later on at the end here. So it's really just about that engine power now, isn't it?
Yep, and a bit of a slipstream, especially for Aiden Yi, as he yeets it on the inside.
Boy.
Can he take it? Aiden Yi in the left. In the middle is Ronaldo, and on the outside is Wei Shen Wong. Behind him is Nimesh Dean. A four-way fight even. And it looks as though Aiden is the biggest winner of the lot. He gets a position. Wei Shen Wong couldn't take advantage of Ronaldo being overtaken there. And Nimesh Dean, meanwhile, is also looking a bit interested trying to get by here. But for Wei Shen Wong, he's having to relinquish that one completely. The gap is now completely gone here. Ronaldo, though, We saw just now that he actually was going a bit wide in some places and really was going hammer and tongs for position. Some people actually wanted him to be kicked out of the server just now. We saw a vote.
Well, Nimesh Dean is able to get around the outside of Wei Shen Wong right now and moves up a place, but really it's just a recovery here for Nimesh. Still not sure what exactly transpired to bring him all the way down to 14th early on, but at least he's on the up and up, only just slightly, but still some progress nevertheless. Fahim Hata in the meantime continuing to hound Abe Sekera, now back onto the main straight again.
Well, and up, you saw the upshot just now.
Yep.
McNeil just got by Koyum and they're still going for it.
Still going for it again. Jordan McNeil slips past him. You can also see just behind Thiago Pereira also trying to join in on the action, but still just a little bit behind where Kayum is right now. Still not able to get the slipstream. He's going to have to tuck in behind a little bit, as you can already see Jordan McNeil just pulling way ahead of the two of them, and now they battle. Thiago going way too deep. Yash Kayum slams into him, but is able to slip past. Thiago loses 2 positions as a result.
And for Kayum, he also lost out because the time he gained would have been negated because they both went wide and onto the AstroTurf, which has been reported to be a bit like glue. So it really is not the best way to go off, as Hata now pressuring Abe Sekera again. So one Pantera is not enough. Here's another one.
Yeah, this is looking like a continuous battle right now. Going a little bit deep there, but still able to keep on the line here. Fahim Hata still keeping the pressure constantly onto Duran Abe Sekera. He's been like this for a few laps now, and still continues to not be able to find a way past Duran Abe Sekera throughout this session here. Break a moment. Duran Abe Sekera, wow, what a save there from him. Still remains up in the head of Fahim Hata.
The amount of opposite lock that he had to slide into it to save that car, Duran really took it out of the oven there. But if he imagined this was a battle for the lead, which is, in this case, isn't, he would have actually framed that as part of his picture for the rest of his life.
Yeah, so what a photo, what a photo-esque like save there.
Money shot.
Money shot indeed here for Duran Abe Sekera. Well, Hata is still going to keep the pressure going, but it seemed to have backed off a little bit for this moment. Aiden Yi in the meantime, a bit under pressure here from Nesh Dean, who again is still on a recovery here, getting himself closer and closer now to the 12th placer. Oh, that little slip on the outside there might have just cost him, as Nimesh Dean now gets alongside and ahead of him, now moves up into 12th.
Oh, meanwhile, second and third and fourth here, still battling, and Hata's gotten ahead of Sekera.
Yep, just right around the final corner there. Hata now able to pull a little bit ahead, but still not out of the clutches of Duran Abe Sekera, who is now trying to fight back in that first turn. Can he get the late break done? Yes, he does. Can he make it on the exit, though? Fahim Hata will be able to slip in on the bookend side, and still is remaining alongside through the corner. Now, Abe Sekera is really going to have to fight tooth and nail for this, and then loses out in the apex in the next turn here. Fahim Hata gets back onto the podium.
Wow. I think if Fahim actually raced earlier in the season, he might have been in contention for a top 10 position as well. But at least we get to see a sneak peek of what he could do, as we are probably going to ramp it up for season 18 right after this. But Abe Sekera is probably feeling that sinking feeling, isn't it? It really has not been the best of fights with SM Fauzi, especially Fauzi up ahead. Really been far away, as Adri, though, looking to try and also recover after being knocked out by Randy Go earlier.
Yeah, actually, he's really caught up all the way to Duran now. So all the battling actually between Hata and Abe Sekera has just pushed them closer and closer to Adri Ahmed here. So this has opened up a huge new opportunity here for Adri to perhaps try to get some recovery. He can just stay off the grass. Maybe he might be able to do so. Still trying to keep up with the two of them right now. You can still see the leaders up ahead and not too far off, surprisingly. Although, I should say that like Fauzi is actually losing a bit of gap now to Randy Go. I wonder if he's actually starting to lose a bit of pace right now. Nevertheless, Jordan McNeil still keeping himself ahead of Yash Kayum. That looked like a really close moment there.
Yeah. And in fact, they really went full opposite lock just to save the car for a second. So Kayum and McNeil, they're almost inseparable. They've been together since the very start of this race. So really then, they're going at Abe Sekera. Yeah, Abe Sekera has been overtaken again.
Yeah, Adrian, I mean, it's just gotten past him now, and oh, let's cleared him very well now. It's now on the chase to Fahim Hatta here. Oh, things has just really not gone Duran Abizkira's way. I mean, the final round of the season, he's second in the championship, even though he's quite far off from Fauzi, especially after the drop round, but still was hoping to see him to be able to bring some fight here to SM Fauzi, but Fauzi right now, he is way ahead here. 4 whole seconds ahead of Randy Gold right now. Yash Kayu and Jordan McNeil, both of these still in the battle here. Yash Kayu getting close here, but still no dice.
Yep, and in front of them is the Rexy livery, minus the braces. Here for Kasif Ahagamange. And oh, he's going up with a curb there. That might actually...
Oh, that got in the way there.
nearly bogged Jordan McNeil, and well, that's his airtime right there. Nearly costing a battle between 2 drivers who are still going at it. And Melvin Malley is still in there somehow. And that is 4th position. Melvin manages to get 1 out of that, but probably a lost cause at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, better luck for next season, I hope, for him. Certainly brought us quite a bit of entertainment in the last few rounds, but this round, unfortunately, is not quite it. Jordan McNeil now trying to pull away from Qayyum. He's only been successful to get himself half a second or just about ahead of Yash Qayyum, so probably a bit of breathing room right now. 12 minutes still remaining in this race here, ladies and gentlemen, and so far, only Jordan and Yash are the closest 2 battles here, and they've been really been at it for such a long time now. I just wonder who's going to be the first one to break.
Yeah, we'll wait and see then. There's still plenty of time in this season left to find out how that happens as we look at other drivers who are closer to the end.
No.
Zachary Lim racing from the Axel Center, nearly losing it here as he was trying to chase after Sharanya Mendes, but no dice there either, so he has to regroup. Behind him is his fellow stablemate from Red Pack Papega. This is Damien Arif. Unfortunately as well, not the best way to end the season. And further behind, Abid Asri, who is actually racing in the livery by yours truly here. Actually quite nice to see that some of the other teams have taken the liberties to make all liveries all out to really show their brand identity.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see like all the very distinctive liveries. This is probably the most distinct one here.
Yeah.
Nicholas Simon using one of these liveries here, just using pictures of his friends all over. Kind of harking back to like Max Verstappen's livery last time around.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of memes going on here in the ERGP here.
Indeed. As meanwhile, there's a bit of a battle for drivers outside the points as well. Rather just close to it. Oh, because Ahangamange actually spun into the crowd. Luckily, though, he got out of harm's way just in time because Seth Martin is on the back of Ismail Ishaq for the final points paying position of the season.
I believe Ishaq earlier on was P16, so Ishaq actually got past Martin early on, just off camera. So really, is Martin now trying to reclaim his position from Ishaq?
Yep, and he's coming up now to this back straight, which he has every opportunity to do so. And look at that, Wei Shin Wong, he's actually fallen quite a lot. He's nearly outside the points. Oh, Seth goes a bit wide. And, well, there you go. It kicks up a bit of gravel for good measure and loses out here on potential. Could have been some nice slipstream to go into the back straight. Oh, and meanwhile, somebody's in the pits, and that is Mikael Zares Iqbal, who's out of the race. Final race of the season. And the racing savant will not be able to finish out what has been a stop-start season for him.
That's a shame, and there's literally 10 minutes before the very end of this race here, so very unfortunate. Zachary Lim just slammed into Sharia Mendes out on track here. What just happened between the two of them here? Zachary seems to still be okay, though. Still, wait, where his position is right now? It's only 22nd here.
Yeah, and there you go. There's the battle scarf from the rear end there. You can just see a bit of scuff marks, so for Sharanya, that would have been a kick up the backside. That really was not what he wanted. And look at the battle scars on Damien, Arif, and Zachary Lim's cars as well. So they've all been in the wars in this regard. But anyhow, that's for the guys trying not to get the wooden spoon at the end. Oh, look at that. Further behind, Nimesh Dean and Aiden Yee. We were just going to focus on Yash Qayyum. But this is Nimesh Dean, who's been having quite an eventful race, alongside Aiden Yee as well, who's also been in and out of the top 10 fighting for position.
Yeah, still trying very much to get back up into some points here. But Aiden Yee still remains a big obstacle, and well, what's not helping Aiden Yee for sure is the fact there's no cars in front, so really Nimesh is taking all the slipstream off of him. Still not able to find an opportunity in the final quarter, though. Still has to try to tuck in behind on the main straight. Oh, going a little bit wide there. So Aiden just going very defensively, swinging his car around, trying to break that toe, but no dice. Nimesh is still gaining on him here, and will be able to take the inside going to that first turn now. Braking hard here, Nimesh Dean moves up a place. Can he hold it, though? though. Aiden Yi is going to be coming alongside, but still not able to find the exit there. Nimesh D moves up.
Yep, that was a good bit of driving, and I'm surprised that a lot of drivers actually, for their defensive maneuvers, go to the hard left of the circuit when they can just maintain to the right. Oh,
Kayum right now on all over Jordan McNeil. He's going around the outside here. See, I think Jordan McNeil still will be able to get it back, but Yash Kayum still will stay alongside him now, going up into this left-hand sweeper here. Jordan McNeil, still pulls a little bit ahead. Yash Kayum still tries to stay as close as possible here, trying to find a way to go around the outside. Really tough one here, because another outside turn here, but Yash Kayum somehow still managed to keep it together, slid off a little bit, so that gives Jordan a bit of breathing room. Melvin Malik, who's, by the way, still a lap down, is actually having a very nice view of this battle going on right now. Yash Kayum continues to try to find a way through, but Jordan McNeil still holds steady in that 6th place.
We'll stay with Melvin's view because he's got the best seat in the house here to two guys who will probably be either congratulating each other for a good fight or be absolutely hating each other's guts that they were together the whole race and costing him a chance to be in the top 5. Either way, it'll be one of the two options. Regardless of that, it has been a great fight and it's still ongoing, though Yash has lost a bit of time there. He went off into the AstroTurf and got caught by the sticky glue that's been inside that particular part that causes the momentum to be lost.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at the deltas here for all the drivers. We're already, with 7 minutes remaining here, seeing a lot of reds going on, a lot of oranges, which means that the tire situation is not looking good, especially for our front runners right now. Housing still remains in the lead, though, still able to keep at least 3 seconds ahead of Randy Go. So hopefully you'll be able to still bring it home. It's still going to be quite eventful 7 minutes here. Let's see.
Speaking of eventful, that was a big boy dive right there from Ismail Ali Shah to Wei Shin Wang. Nak probably didn't see that one coming. He did go a bit defensive, but he didn't expect that Ishak would just really send it and, for the most part, block past him on the outside.
Yep, well, that's another move up into the board here for Ishak. So really trying to pull in a very nice finish here for him, even though he's all the way down to 14th place. But laps-wise, actually looking very good compared to the top 10.
A case of what might have been if qualifying went better for him. But again, it's always that case, isn't it? Especially when it didn't go right. People will say something like this.
Yeah, I think Imesh is also going to be making a move on the Aiden Yi anytime soon, as we are seeing Iman Nazri getting a bit argy-bargy there with Package Najar. Aiden Yi not going to be able to keep his position. Nimesh D moves up ahead of him now, and he's up into 12.
The bounce there. Did you see that Aiden Yi decided to go full Irohasaka, isn't it? The jump in initial D.
I was thinking more of Alonso back in like 2005, but okay, that's close enough, I guess. Well, Nimesh Dean, though, now has already dispatched one driver. TGS Pantera has another one ahead of him in the form of Ezra Collin, as Kayum and Jordan McNeil getting still close to each other, still not able to get past one another. Jordan McNeil still remains in that P6 right now, and it's got a bit of traffic up ahead. Justin Young right now. It's going to be passed soon.
Yeah, Young. That's often the case, isn't it? That people make a mistake here, as you can see.
Yep. We'll be giving a little bit more space there, but Jordan, he's going to flash really hard. A driver who's using an orange peel livery, by the way, here, as Ash Kayum takes a little bit of slipstream off him, says thank you very much, and pulls up ahead. In the meantime, let's see how things are with Adrian Amit and Abe Sekera. Both of them also quite close here, also in a bit of a fight right now for 4th position, the best of the rest, as it were here. Adrian, of course, had a little bit of a spill early on with Randy Go. We'll see whether or not that will result in a review later on by the race stewards, but for now, Adrian's got his sights very much set on his rearview mirror, because Abe Sekera is keeping the pressure going here onto the main straight. Tries to have a look on the inside. Adrian still is able to brake nicely, keeps him on apex, blocks off Duran Abe Sekera perfectly, but Duran will have to slipstream on this part here, so it's not quite out of the woods yet.
Indeed. And that descent, though, really does feel like the cars are jumping, but it looks as though Adri didn't have the best of exits. That's why Abe Sekera manages to just stay behind him. But through this section, Adri manages to inch back ahead because Abe Sekera was almost bogged a bit because A3 took a wider line and just literally stalled it, the momentum of Eviscera coming through it.
Nimesh Dean right now is all over Ezra Collin, as I can see from the timing tower right now. He almost got alongside him earlier on. I think that was back on the main straight earlier on. Now he's going to be trying to chase him through Sector 2 here. Ezra Collin now just fighting with his car right now to try to keep it ahead of Nimesh Dean. Nimesh so far has moved up several positions here after having been spilled all the way down out of the top 10. Now trying to fight his way back up into some points here.
Yep. While this battle's going on, the other Pantera car of McNeil and Koyum still at it. They are still at it.
It's a never-ending story, and we still have 3 minutes remaining here. Yash Kayyum going for a little bit of a slidey move there. Still not able to get past Jordan McNeil. I mean, both of these are so evenly matched right now, but he's going to try to go around the outside on the final corner. Goes a little bit too wide, though. That would not work here. Yash Kayyum still remains behind Jordan McNeil.
Yep, and again, we go back on board with Melvin Malik. Let's see how this is going to play out. That turn 1 has been a favorite overtaking spot for quite a few people, but for Kayyum, not being able to do so. Left, right, center, wherever he goes, McNeil seems to have an answer for everything.
Oh, speaking of things that's happening right now, Fauzi lost 2 whole seconds on that last lap. Now he's only like 2 seconds ahead of Randy Go, as Kayyum right now finds a way on the inside. Jordan McNeil, will this finally be the moment here for Yash Kayyum? He still will be on a drag race here on his main straight. Yash Kayyum unfortunately had to back out of it here. Tries to take the slipstream off of Jordan McNeil. He's still gonna try his very best here. I mean, they've been literally at it for almost the entire race here between the two of them. Yash Kayyum has failed time and time again. Now he's going to have a good run up onto the inside, braking hard here. Is he going to be able to do it?
Whoa!
Yes! Oh, just barely by a hair. Jordan McNeil still is able to keep alongside though. Yash Kayyum needs to clear him off on the next corner. Still needs to try to block him up, but still, Jordan McNeil's nose is still close enough here. Keeps his space here, keeps his line, and forces Yash Kayyum to go completely wide.
And Kayyum got caught by the sticky AstroTurf there, and he has it all to do again. We thought he had it done because he literally blocked past McNeil out of the way. That was actually quite fair, not gonna lie. I wouldn't complain too much about it because I left so much room on the inside. But McNeil, though, credit to where it's due, his versatility got back at him and is now maintaining his place somehow.
Yeah, wow, such an intense battle right now. 1 whole minute still left here between these two drivers, so really it's only 1 more lap of racing between the two of them, as Fauzi should be able to come across into the final corner soon here. But Yash Kayyum is still trying to bide his time, still trying to find an opportunity. He knows that the time to strike is now, especially when the tires are so worn out that virtually all the top 10s are having reds in their deltas right now. Melvin Malik actually closing in onto these two battles here, trying to make this a 3-way, even though he's 1 whole lap down.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Kayyum, 2 of them. As Jordan McNeil still stays on. Melvin Malik is getting close here, and too close to Yash Kayyum, almost bumping into the back of him. Yash Kayyum, though, unfortunately lost out a little bit in that contact, but still, they will have this lap here to go.
Indeed, and meanwhile now is the coronation of a champion, because SM Fauzi up ahead, he has started his final lap and he has been impervious up in front since he took the pole position and the lead.
Well, not exactly impervious. He did lose quite a bit of time earlier on, as I noticed earlier, because that gap between him and Randy Go went from 4 seconds now down to 1.3. Looking a bit concerning, but his delta still looks fine. Ronaldo unfortunately stopped on the side of the track. I think that's going to be the race done for him, unfortunately. So right now, SM Fauzi still sees Randy Go in his rearview mirrors. Randy sensing an opportunity here, but the tracks are literally just running out here for him on Buddh circuit. As right now they're entering into the multi-apex turn. You can see a bit of traffic ahead. Whoa! Oh, gets it. Ooh, slides out, but thankfully both Fauzi and Randy Go were able to avoid him.
Yeah, Rexy then nearly became part of the factor here, but luckily though, out of the harm's way for Fauzi and Go.
And Nimesh D moves up to 10th place. He got past Erza Collin early on, but he's still going to be side by side with Erza. This is still a battle towards the end here. As Fauzi, Randy Go is only within a second of SM Fauzi. They're still coming up to the final few corners right now. The race leader now under pressure here at the very end of the race. This is getting really exciting. I'm literally on the edge of my seat right now.
Yep, but looks as though Randy has left it 1 lap too late, because here comes now SM Fauzi for DDSRT in the Petronas Premix colors. Who would have thought this? He had a poor first round, but he manages to keep it all together in the next 3 and is champion of the copper class. What a way to do so. Slaloms across the line. Randy go finish second. And now we're going to go this. Look at that. Hata just hangs on to it in front of Adri and Durant. Now, where is Jordan and Yash Kayyum? They're still going at it.
Still at it. Jordan McNeil still ahead right now as Yash Kayyum can only just stare on and discuss here, flashing his lights as Jordan takes a checkered flag ahead of him. Who and Tiago Pereira, Ezra Collin falls behind Nimesh Dean, still not able to get past. He was almost alongside him that time around, but looks like he will have to just settle for 10th place here as we come across the line here, still trying to get the draft almost to the very end, but still no dice. Nimesh Dean takes 10, Ezra Collin in 9th, Aiden Yee takes 11, and Jean Martin should be able to take 12.
Yep, rest of the field coming by. We have Ismail Elisha coming through 13th, 14th is Naka, so there we go, a bit of contact between Pereira and Melvin Marley there. Brad Liu with 15th. But SM Fauzi is your champion for copper. It's almost insurmountable now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can just etch that name on the trophy because he was so far ahead, led every single lap, and I dare say has the fastest lap of the race. So he had a perfect round all round and is the dominant champion in this class. So, yes.
As of right now, the unofficial champion of GE17 Clopper class. We still have to wait for the final official results. And oh, thank you so much, Uncle Lukman. That Jordan versus Yash got to be one of the best battles in entire race. It was one of the longest battles, actually, throughout this race here. And yes, this is generally more exciting than F1. I was literally on the edge of my seat as I saw things unfolding here, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. What a way to cap off the season here for the Copper class as the last few drivers will be taking the checkered flag here and celebrating the very end with some burnouts.
Well, he actually has run out of tire. You can see the car thing behind. So that's why you see the rear saying because there's no tire left. But I think we can call it. Oh, look at that. That's a nice... Oh, we just missed it. But we can go back to... There we go. An Armada. Just
missed it. But yeah, there was an Armada up there. TGS Pantera, also one really dominant team here. I mean, Randy Go, I mean... Despite the fact that he had an incident with AJ Amit, I mean, he's been so fast throughout his whole season here. It certainly has been bringing a lot of pride here to TGS Pantera. Hopefully, you're going to be seeing a lot more of them in the coming seasons, aren't we?
Indeed. Either in bronze class or in copper. Depends on where they're going to go next season. But the Pantera boys really show that when you have a team spirit together, it really is going to make it work. Despite some friction in between that we've heard rumors of. But regardless of that, looks like the final round, they put that aside to give a good show.
Yeah, I mean, good show indeed it was. I mean, wow, this is how the copper class is going to be. I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next few classes. Up next, we're going to be having our bronze class race and, of course, the gold and silver classes that's going to be going on here. Congratulations again to SM Fauzi. He is right now, as of right now, the unofficial champion of the copper class, and it certainly has done so well to get himself to this point. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after these messages.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
And we are back at the eRacing GP. My name is Victor Cax. Joining me here is Ammo. We have been bringing you guys the action here in the season finale of Global Edition 17. We just witnessed the end of the Copper Class race. SM Fauzi is our unofficial as of yet, but still, what an effort he has done here to take the championship for the Copper Class. We'll still be awaiting the official results for that, but I gotta say, brilliant race all around.
Indeed, and it was a really fun one because up in front, yeah, maybe the first and second place guys were a bit too far, but we got it in the end. It was very close. But the rest of the way, the top 10 had battles all around. We just couldn't keep our eyes off it. So
yeah,
let's see if the GT3 cars in bronze can provide the same thing because, again, as we all often know, bronze really does deliver some good action, but the championship is still pretty much a wide open affair, as we can actually attest to that once we see the graphics come up for that one.
Yep.
There you go.
There we go. So that's Ethan Lau and Elliot Stewart-Nagel who are in the top two right now. This is before the drop round, mind you, but Ethan has so far been very dominant in most of the races here. Let's see how the points do stand after that, though. Look at that, a lot more closer here between the two of them. So I'm not sure if Elliot Stewart-Nagel is actually joining us in this race here. I don't think I see him in the server, though. So Ethan Lau and Ngoyong Jen are in, though, so they both still will have a chance to try to battle it out. But certainly for third place onwards, it's a lot more closer. I mean, Afiko Askar from Indonesia is in a 2-point lead to Ahmad Abdullah right now, and Jeremy Yao is only 3 points behind. So I think for the top 5 here, disregarding the top 2, it's still going to be quite a close championship battle between those guys. But for Ethan Lau, all he needs to do is to be able to bring this home, and he will hopefully be the unofficial bronze class champion.
For sure, yeah. Barring some calamities that will happen, he does have an unassailable lead up in front. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. But for now, the focus for the Red Pack Papega guys is to just race each other, but also try to have it fair because they don't want to spoil each other's championship fight.
Yeah, there's still going to be a lot of action to go here as we are getting ourselves set up for the bronze class race here. We are reaching the end of the practice session right now. I do want to give a shout out to all you guys who have been joining us in the YouTube chat right now. Seeing plenty of good comments coming in here. Just keep them coming in, guys. Love to see the support coming in from all of you back at home here to your favorite racers out on track here. So with regards to the GT3 cars here out of Buddh circuit, I believe GT3 races have not actually been held on this circuit in real life. So this is going to be a very unique opportunity here for us to witness, isn't it?
Yep, indeed. In fact, the only tin tops that are actually remotely close to having a race here were actually truck races. So truck racing was the only thing that happened besides four-wheel cars of F1 and Formula BMW. The rest of the way have been all just two-wheel varieties. But apart from that, yes, we might be training to unknown territory, but it is at least a known fact that four-wheel cars have raced it before.
Yeah, you can definitely attest to that for sure. But as for the bronze class, I mean, especially given how much closer the championship are for some of these guys, I'm thinking that a lot more action might be in store for us here, as we're seeing a couple of really interesting liveries here, isn't it, Ammo?
Yep. and these are racing VTubers. I met these guys in real life, but because of confidentiality when it comes to VTubing, you're not allowed to reveal identities. They go by their VTuber name. So this is Zul Akihira and his teammate Psycho Kaiser, who's actually joined as well for this round. They got matching liveries, but with a bit of subtle differences, and the only 2 drivers in the entire field to field Lexus cars, and this one is, I think, is it Azure Lane? Yeah, these are Azure Lane characters. You can see the yellow star on the side. So Psycho Kaiser then, really nice to see that he's also racing it. He's also live on his Twitch channel, of course, alongside Zul Akihira, if you guys want to watch their POVs live. But for us, we also are live on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch channels, just in case you want to say hi, and people who have said hi to done so. And plus, shout out to our sponsors as well, Axel Sports, the organizer for the tournament, Royal Slango, who give us the fantastic pewter trophies in both Global Edition and in Endurance Edition, plus Xbox Sunway, who are housing the whole production team right here, that without them wouldn't have been possible. So that's the niceties out of the way. Now then, we are ready to go for the final race of the entire season. Really can't wait. But before the race, qualifying session.
Yeah.
All important here. And for the championship hopefuls, this is the opportunity to get at least a step ahead going into the race.
Exactly. So let's have a look at right now how things stand, at least with the practice times here. I mean, 152.7 right now from Eric Satra seems to be setting a kind of a benchmark right now. So I'm expecting to see a lot of these guys try to break under the 153s here in order to be able to stay in a competitive position to hopefully nab a podium here. We got Jeremy Yao yet again with his Don't Read and Drive still emblazoned on the back of his BMW M6. Is still a very, very interesting livery here, and certainly one that's been iconic here, thankfully.
Yeah.
So, well, let's see if Jeremy Yao is going to be able to surprise us. Yeah, because that's actually a very competitive time there, 152.7 in practice. Let's see if he's going to be able to repeat that for qualifying, because again, you know, even though practice times can be indicative sometimes of your performance, it's really how you execute your qualifying that really matters in the end.
Indeed. And we saw just now Randigo and Duran Bisquera were top 2 in practice for a copper, but they were a bit blown out of the water by the fact that SM Fauzi just came in with an absolutely stonking time towards the end to just upset everyone's apple cart, and really the entire run belonged to him from then on out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, sorry, only 21 people in bronze. It seems to be the case, although I do see there's some drivers who haven't gone to the track yet. So I think we have like 24 drivers actually that are in this final race here, but only 21 went out on track during the practice session just now. So that's a little bit info for you there, from Marcus Lacambra, who by the way is going to be we're going to be seeing him later on in this race here. So wish you best of luck there, Marcus.
Indeed, and above him is his race engineer, Spotter Evo, aka Nick, who was confusing for a feud for another Chester that he was focusing on, Chester Elog and Chester Lam, though both Chesters will probably be racing in gold next year, so that will add to more confusion on which first names are going to be racing as. Meanwhile, Elliot Needham, Stu and Eagle, hello Needham. You know, it's hello Newman, but you know, hello Needham. He will be there. Unfortunately, he can't beat anyone this week. Well, literally in the case that he doesn't want to use his baseball bat to beat people.
Oh, come on. we do not condone violence over here in the ERGP. Oh, and Mama Tahir, welcome to the broadcast here. Thanks for dropping by, man.
Yes, that's another one of the handshake guys who are probably going to wheel on the drivers in the upper classes right after this. As we can see, qualifying is about to get underway now, and Ethan Lowe, we didn't see much of him in practice. He is in the server, so he definitely wants to take this advantage of some championship rivals by the wayside to just win it easily, but he's not going to come out too fast because he wants to let other people get out of the way first, including, look at this. That is quite a messy first part of the race. That's, wow, look at that. That's a livery that we have not seen in a very, very long time. A Speed Tavern livery, because we last saw it in the Endurance Edition, and it's being raced by Zach Wong.
Wow, it's like a blast from the past here, isn't it? Here, Zach Wong Xia representing the Speed Tavern MY colors here in this very beautiful AMG GT3. It's going to go alongside another AMG GT3, this time of the I believe one of the handshake racing drivers, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Haji Gazlan. So he has been changing cars quite a few times. He did race the thing with Janetta at one point, but now he actually has jumped into the Mercedes, which has been the meta car, but you can see by the spread of manufacturers on this left-hand side of the screen, quite a lot of manufacturers that are non-Mercedes this time around, so that's only a good thing.
And by the way, Elliott Stueneagle, a 90-mile-per-hour baseball hit. Wow, okay.
Wow.
That's
almost major league level. Although, one has to question how fast was the ball traveling, though.
Action reaction and all that, isn't it?
Yes. So if the ball was coming in quite slow, then it's easy to just hit it wide out of the park. But we'll take his word for it.
We'll take its word for it. I mean, Elliott's plenty fast enough in the virtual world, and definitely won't want to meet him in a dark alley with a baseball bat. That's for sure.
Well, there you go. You did say don't condone violence, but we're going a bit Gotham here.
Yeah, we're going a bit to the dark side, as it were. Meantime, still going to be quite a while before we're going to be able to see sometimes. You can still see that Ayman Shamim and Zach Wong are still chasing each other out on track here. Looks like, Asuka has already moved up as well. It's already joining these guys. Going to be coming onto the main straight now. They're going to be starting their flying lap.
And that's not the best place to start for either one of those two guys, because Shamim in the Apex Racing Brunei car is chasing after the Speed 7 car of Zach Wong, and that is really going to compromise his first lap. Rest of the field are following by suit behind here as well. We're going to jump behind to Alfie Kaskar, because Alfiko is the main fast guy here, because we know what he can do when he has a car underneath him, and it's certainly not the best place to start the first round of banker laps.
Well, we'll see how this will turn out here. I mean, right now, I'm going to be expecting to see a lot of guys, especially in the top 10, breaking into the 152s. That seems to be the benchmark set during the practice here, as we can already see Zach Wong and Ayman Shamim just going against each other here, and Zach Wong cutting in front of Ayman under braking.
Now that might be a sticking point that's going to come here, because we can see it's a bit of a dress rehearsal to what would happen in the race. We saw it just now in the GT4 cars in Copper, that he could easily go side by side, left, right, and center, as Ayman Shamim now probably has to give up that track position. He knows full well it's not worth battling it out for just a handful of tenths, especially when you got a guy that's not giving way.
Oh my god, it's going all topsy-turvy here. Zach Wong loses control. Still stuck on the track though, has to wait for some of these cars to get past before he can get out of the way. And oh boy, in a very awkward position here, because he can't quite back out there without, he has to basically watch out for anyone coming by into that braking zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a braking zone, it's actually one of the faster points of the circuit.
Yeah, actually.
It's picking up speed onto that huge banking coming up through turn 12 and 13. That really would have been ugly if anything went wrong there. Whoa, speaking of going wrong, you can see further behind, a driver nearly losing it. That is Haziq Aslan.
Yeah, Abigail Asghar now coming around the final corner here. I think we're going to be seeing one of the first flying lap times to be posted up here. What will it be? A 154, I think I see. Sorry, a 155 actually from Haziq Aslan. I think, of course, time just got deleted there. So Haziq Aslan's right now holding the provisional pole, but I think it's still going to be plenty of times to come through. Jeremy Yao right now holds that provisional pole with a time of 153.3. But oh boy, Enzo Isan moves into the 152s. 152.7. That is definitely going to be a benchmark now for disqualifying.
And we saw 52s already in practice, so Enzo Isan is actually living up to the bill, because he was one of the fastest guys in that top 5 in practice. Let's see how that plays out for him. Yeah, the LORSN driver.
Ethan Lau as well, breaking into 152 to 152.9. Respectable time indeed, especially compared to Enzo Isan. It's still 5 minutes qualifying left, so still plenty of time for these guys to find more improvements out on track. Who else going to be able to join up in the top there? Jeremy Yao is also in the 153s here, 153.3. So that puts him just ahead of Eric Satria right now. Lukmanul Hakim actually makes it onto a 154. That's enough to keep him up in the top 5.
Yep, and the fastest of the Ferraris, which has not been the favorite car in this season, but regardless, nice to see that Lukmanul Hakim has actually put it up there quite fast. But we saw Ethan Lau just now. Where is his main championship rival since Stueneagle's not here? Yong Jan, he actually was in and out of silver quite a few times. It looks as though he had connection problems, because I did see just now his car warped backwards, but he is on the lap right now, and let's see what he can do with clear air right in front of him. Well, mostly because he's got Enzo Isan in front, but Isan's fast enough to not be a factor.
Yeah, speaking of clearing the air, Elliott's just clarified that the ball was coming in at 80 miles per hour. So, okay, yeah, that's quite fast. That's quite fast. That's pretty fast.
Yep. And he actually put in a lot more inertia with the batting there to get it out of his bat at 90 miles per hour. Easily a home run.
Yeah, well, it's going to be quite a run home here, unfortunately, for all of our drivers. It's bronze class qualifying. It's now reaching into its final 4 minutes here. Enzo Ison's currently a provisional pole holder by only 152.7. 152 has only been achieved by both Enzo Ison as well as Ethan Lau. Who else will be able to join the line here? Will Go Young Jen, who is currently still on the start of his flying lap. We'll see what kind of time he's going to be able to post here. He is the closest competitor right now to Ethan Lau, so we'll be very much waiting with bated breath to see what he'll be able to do out on track. Savi Ratiyake also driving a Lamborghini here, one of the few Lamborghini drivers actually, if not the only Lamborghini driver amongst our bronze class here. So far, only a time that's good enough for 4th place right now, 153.7. Very much between Jeremy Yao and Eric Satcha in that regard.
Indeed. But that is actually quite a nice livery. It really looks on point for the Ceylon guys to race here. So quite nice to see a few teams have actually adopted paint schemes for this one, so that it's easy to identify them among the crowd. As a few other drivers out on track, we did mention in practice are going around. Here's Zul Akihira coming across the line then, the V2 being racer in his in their own character. It's called Tay. She's coming on that car across the line, P16 so far. But remember, in the race, that will be where the points is just outside of it. One lead away. One position away from from points. Now then, where is his teammate Psycho? In fact, speaking of Psycho, he's up to P3.
Nice, 153.1 there, good enough to keep him ahead of Jeremy Yao by 2/10. A fantastic time actually, considering that he's driving a Lexus, which is not a popular car amongst our bronze class drivers.
Indeed, in fact, Lexus have been really rare, a dime a dozen in terms of selection here, but nonetheless, quite nice to see that they are actually in supply thanks to the Technoburst racing team. Yeah, that's the name of the team, by the way, Technoburst. So Technoburst are making their debut here, but really have come out fighting for this one. Meanwhile, somebody's supporting for Ayman Shamim while he was in the shot earlier. Oh!
Go Young Jen just posted a 152.7. He's dethroned Ethan Lau from 2nd place.
By 600ths of a second, less than 600ths of a second between the two Red Pack Papega teammates. And he's racing for the Red Pack side here, so a little bit of pride at stake between the two camps, because despite the union between these two teams, it is pretty much, when it comes to the punch, who wants to be the fastest of the lot. And Red Pack have their driver here, a go-karting ace up his sleeve. Surely now will try to go for a championship in Global Edition.
Outside 2496 says, let's go, Ayman Shamim. Elliot Stewart-Nagel loving the Lexus liveries here for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was what we saw the first time. It really strikes out because it's a really clean Itasha. Most Itashas can be a bit messy, but this one has purpose. It tries to look the part. And there you can see behind is his teammate for Psycho Kaiser, Zul Akihara. Well, let's see what he can do on his second time run. Looks as though not the best of times that he's having here. In practice, he was struggling a bit as well. He was in the 156s. Across the line he comes. He's not going to improve, I think, for this time. No. Nope. But Psycho is still up in the top 5. So he's going to get points on the board here in his very first qualifying session.
And crucially, it's still ahead of Jeremy Yao, still ahead of Lukman Nul, still ahead of Zarif Adam as well. So going to be very interesting to see how far Kaiser can go in this race here.
And here's a fun fact. He's racing with a controller, a proper controller.
Man.
We're not seeing controller players in a while since the Indian driver that we had quite a few seasons ago. He actually raced with a controller and won his class in his racing class. So you can tell that is the choice of control schemes going forward for some drivers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, trying to race with a controller, especially against other people who have sim rigs, it's not an easy thing to do at all. I mean, for one, the lack of feedback that you get from steering, and number two, just the difficult precision. Like, you really have to be very good with your thumbs, literally, as you're using a controller here. So I'm going to be very curious to see what he's going to be able to pull off later on this race, as Eric Satria moves into P4 right now. Actually dethrones Psycho Kaiser now. 152.9, just enough to get him up into the top 4.
Yep, and he's still in the top 5 though. Regardless, that will be points for him unless Savi has something to do. No, Savi's not going to be able to improve that time. He stays in P6. You can see his rear end quite scuffed there. I'm surprised he actually could keep up with the car the whole time.
Yeah.
With that rear being a bit damaged.
And by the way, Enzo Ison just posted the fastest time of the session here, 152.3 to take that checkered flag. So that's going to be very tall, very high target here for everyone else to beat if they want to be able to take him off of that pole position. Shazli will be able to take the checkered flag. So there's Lukman Hakim. We still are seeing some of the top 6, top 7 drivers are still out on track here. So still could be anyone's game right now. But Ison's just really raised the bar very high right now.
4/10, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ethan came across the line, no improvement there. Youngjan, though, he might still be upsetting the apple cart. Remember, 5 points here, as usual, for pole position, and goes all the way to 5th, which is 1. So it's an increment of 1 for the top 5. But Youngjan wants that extra point to see if he could try and overhaul his teammate in the championship standings coming to this final round. Into the second to last corner, turn 15, and it looks as though he's going to go wide.
No.
I think that pretty much is going to end his qualifying here, unless, of course, if he's going on, that means that it's still a valid time. Let's see then.
Delta-wise is still only a 10th up, though. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it through, rather to be able to dethrone Enzo.
He does improve, but...
not enough here to take away the provisional pole positions here from Enzo Ison.
And Enzo, amazingly, ends the season the same way that he started, by getting pole position, but he'll be hoping that his race will go further than what he had in that very first round all the way back in Fuji.
I mean, this is a prime spot to be, especially in the Format B race, isn't it? I mean, if you get a really good start, you're going to be in a position to command the race from start to finish. So, oh my god, Elliot is already asking someone to take him out.
Yeah. No, don't waste that among to your teammates. But he says that ACC god Enzo is, so not only that, he can also play well on the Gran Turismo. He was one of the finalists in the Asia Cup last year, so it was his debut, and it might have gone a bit south towards the end. But regardless, we're seeing a prelude to the future when we see more of the new blood coming in very soon.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, you know, we're going to be having our Endurance Edition coming up soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned on our social medias when we're going to be officially announcing the start of that. That's going to be something to look forward to for the rest of 2025, and of course, the next edition of the Global Edition that's going to be coming up after we've already done with this very season of racing itself.
Yep.
So let's see how things will shape up for our races. We are just waiting for the session to transition now to the actual race session. Remember, it is a Format B race, so it's still going to be a half an hour long affair here. 40 points for first place. We already got 5 points locked up here for Enzo Ison by taking pole position here. So he's already having a very nice setup right now for this very race. So Ethan Lau, who is our championship leader, he's starting from the second row in 4th place here. He's going to have Eric Satria for company. He's going to be ahead of Jeremy Yao and Kaiza as well. Ngo Yong Jen, who is probably his closest championship competitor, he's up in the front row. He is up ahead of Ethan Lau. So this is going to be an interesting one to see here. If Ngo Yong Jen actually makes a really good run up, maybe even overtakes Enzo Ison for the lead, we might be seeing some fireworks go off here, at least for the bronze class championship.
Indeed, as you can see with some of the views that we're focusing on, because here's a bit of a contrast from somebody like AG Bitter, who's right at the back here, and somewhere in the midpoint we got Afiko Asuka, so at least he has half his work cut up for him.
Yeah.
Though you rather want to be in front like Youngjan and Enzo Ison.
Yeah, well, lights on the gantries are going on right now. Bronze class Global Edition 17 final race of the season will be going soon as those lights go off. We will be on now for Global Edition 17 Bronze Class final race. Enzo Ison keeps his lead very nicely there. Ngo Yong Jen still keeping up alongside him. Tries to see if he can make the dive into the apex there. It's going to be very close between the two of them. As Eric Satra tries to go around outside, but that did not work. He drops several positions down. Jeremy Yao now all over the back of Ethan Lau as he attempts to try to get himself up into the podium position here. Still a very tight situation going into this turn here, but it seems like Jeremy Yao is able to keep it nice and clean. Ethan Lau still alongside that BFW as they go along the main straight.
The back straight here we come, and look at that! Zarif is being boxed in here, but he's got the drive from Ethan Lau, goes onto the grass, loses the momentum. Now Jeremy is attacking the back of young Ethan. Can he actually get it through into the inside? Here, coming into the hairpin. Here comes Eric Satra to actually get back into position as well after losing a few, and then some.
And then Zarif Adam cuts in onto the inside there, retakes the 6th position here. Eric Satra still got his work cut out for him. Go Young Jin in the meantime still trying to close in onto to Enzo Isan right now as Ethan Lau continues his chase on behind. Things are starting to tidy up a little bit, but it's still a 3-way battle here for 5th place as Zarif Adam Shazli still continues to lead this pack up ahead. Hazik Aslan in the meantime having a very topsy-turvy situation here, going onto the curbs, onto the grass as well, loses a lot of momentum here to 7th place Afiko Asgar.
You can see how wild that was from Hazik Aslan. He nearly lost the car completely, but good bit of car control. As you can see, support for Savi Rathnayake is coming through.
Yeah.
Where is Savi? Well, there he is. He was in the top 10. He's dropped the P18, but still long way to go. Oh, there's a bit of a half spin there. Psycho Kaiser, who was up in the top 6, has dropped to 20th.
Yeah, he's dropped in all the way behind Red's one shot right now. 21st place actually for him. And Alnan goes into the wall. LGBT bumps in another car again. Chandramani Alnan into the wall as well.
Well, Chandramauli had a wild moment there, but amazingly, he didn't take out anybody.
Yeah, Afiko Asgar right now is running up against Eric Satra here. I think Eric might be in danger of losing another position here if he's not able to defend this first turn. Afiko Asgar tries to have a look at the inside, cannot quite find a way through with his Audi as Eric Satra still maintains his position right now. Meantime, the rest of the cars still coming in. Still a very close situation here for all our GT3 drivers here as Afiko Asgar continues to keep the chase going on to Eric Satra.
Yep. That was quite a chop-and-changing first lap, but what's clear is that there's a Mercedes Armada in front with Enzo Isan, Yongjian, and Ethan Lau leading the way, but the rest of the field are still not that far away. So, watching their tires right now, this early part of this race, they're probably going to attack from the halfway point onwards.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can get off breath a bit.
Yeah, and to answer Elliot's question there, it's not double points, it's a Format B race. So effectively, it's 40 points for the winner because it's only a 30-minute race here. So only one race to win it.
Indeed. Well, technically you can say it's double points, but it's not really double. It's just increased points.
It's the points of race 1 and 2 added together, sort of, if you want to think about it.
Well, some roundabout way, if you had the maximum points, it's still the same. It's 49 points if you really dominate the whole way. But you don't really get double points unless we decide to do so anyway. Meanwhile, back to one of the Lexuses or Lexi. I don't know how to put the...
I don't think that works for this one.
Lexuses anyway.
Yeah.
It's Zulaki Hira who's made a barnstorming start. He's actually now up to P13 and in the points. It's a contrast to his teammate Psycho Kaiser, who has had the opposite effect of dropping outside the top 20.
Over the curb, really aggressive there is Zul Akihara, as Zarif Adams still keeps his cool right now. Looking a little bit of a neutral slide there for Zarif, slowing down a little bit on that hairpin, but still is able to keep himself ahead of Zul's car. Zul having a little bit of a peek on the inside, still not able to find a way through, but at least we'll be able to enjoy a bit of a slipstream as going wide there behind him.
Adam Hakim.
Yeah, Adam Hakim right now loses position to Rezwan Shah. Rezwan moves up into 14th.
Yep, and that's a really nice livery, not gonna lie, for Rezwan Shah. It's a bit Coca-Cola like, I would say, because I think these cars have that livery. But either way, chopping and changing fruit all the way through. And it's still not over yet. Everyone's still chopping position as we are only about 5 minutes in. Would you believe it?
Yeah,
the amount of action that happened felt like we've gone through about more than that.
No, I just love the fact that they're very close to each other. I mean, we're not seeing anyone pull any massive gaps. I mean, the biggest gap you can see right now in the top 5 is Eric Satra to Jeremy Yao, 2.4 seconds. Everyone else is within a second, less than a second of each other. This is a very close race right now, mind you. And we're only 5 minutes through it. Sabi Ratniyake right now still being stuck behind. Rezwan Shah moves onto the inside there, and Zul is going to be able to cut ahead of the two of them right now, but I think he still will be alongside Alexis here, but should be able to confirm his position by the next turn if he can just keep Zul Akihara at bay here. Under braking, going into the left-hand sweeper, he does stay ahead of the Lexus and keeps himself there.
2 for 1. That is a great bit of driving from Rezwan Shah. He really showed how it's done there. The corner just fans out because it opens up so much that you can do 3, even 4 car wide going through that corner, but he managed to make it through and takes P12 as Zach Wong has a bit of a moment. Zach wow, he's actually running up in the top 15. He could score points here, but for how long can he hold on to that? Because he had that mistake. Now he's actually into the clutches of the gaggle of cars.
Yeah,
the gaggle of cars right around him.
Savi Radayake, bit of trouble there. Tries to get alongside Zul, but didn't quite stick the landing there. Drives over the sausage curve, almost loses control there. Still stays alongside the Ferrari though of Rizwan, of Hakim there. Still is able to keep just barely ahead right now. Stays ahead of that Ferrari. Oh, that looks like a very touch and go moment for him.
Very nip and tuck, yeah. It could have gone completely pear-shaped for a few drivers. But luckily though, Zach was the one that caused it. He didn't actually do any more damage apart from to himself.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can still see a lot of damage on the side of Savi Radniyake's car, so we'll see whether or not that's going to become a factor later on. We still have a long way to go here, and certainly that bit of damage may not help him in the long run for sure. As Rezwan Shah still up in 11, Zek Wong is now attempting to keep chase there in that Speed Tavern MY livery here. As you can see, Zul just behind them. Also having a nice view of this situation here. Still a very close battle going on up until P10 right now for most of the top 10 though. Things have more or less settled down. It's really just about that consistency, and as far as I can see, things are looking very well. Zarif Adam right now in a battle here with Haziq Aslan. With Darwin Chia right now. Darwin able to get himself alongside here, but still has to take the slipstream.
In fact, it was Zarif that actually got a slipstream off him to overtake, but Darwin comes back! Darwin nearly just hits him and both go off!
Oh, off there, but back on again, still on the chase here. Both of them still in locked-in battle here. This is for P9 right now. So Zarif Adam still leads ahead of Darwin Xia. Let's see how this will unfold, because this is a very close battle between the two of them. Zek Wong, in the meantime, not able to keep up too well with Rezwan Shah, unfortunately. It's dropped in almost a second behind.
Meanwhile, there's also support for Savi Radayake, as Elliot actually said that the sound of the Lambo is, godlike, you can say so, because it is amazing. And it is only a V10. Well, I say only because...
Only a V10, it says.
Because it's such a rarity now.
I know,
you don't get V10s anymore. So really, it's the last of a breed that we can get these kind of sounds, unless of course you count the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Yeah.
But that's a V12. Again, Aston Martin held on common sense.
Well, Savi's definitely closing in on the Ayman Shamim right now. Let's see if this might be the lap for him to do it here. He's been trying to close things in here. Still a little bit on the outside when it comes to the top 10, but at least with the pace we've seen here, we're just hoping to see him be able to make a good climb up with still still 2/3 of this race remaining here. Ayman Shamim still barely hanging on to the racing line though, as Savi Radniake is getting closer and closer, keeps the pressure onto him here under braking though. Takes onto the slowest part here at the end of the back straight. Now coming onto the second bit of straight here, coming up towards the sweepers, coming up to the technical section here. He needs to get as much slipstream as he can right now. Closing in a little bit by bit onto the Ferrari. Tries to have a look on the inside. Oh wait, no, that might be the outside here for him actually, as he tries to keep alongside the Ferrari. Can he find a way on the exit though? Still tucking it, but nope, still no dice.
And they nearly lost it there for a second. As you can see, support for Savi is quite strong. And quite a few of his fellow countrymen, Thiago Pereira and Sharanya Mendes. In fact, they both were taking part in the Copper class earlier, so they've now sat on the sidelines. End of season party for them, just to have a good race to watch, as Haziq Aslan and Zarif Adam might be swapping positions there. We're still focusing on this.
I tell you what, a bit of concertina might be in effect here, as Zul Akihara is now getting in the way of Ayman Shamim. Ayman is actually finding it difficult to get good speed through this corner here, and that's playing into the hands of Savi Radniake right now. He needs to be able to capitalize on this situation here. 3 cars went a little bit wide right now. Ayman Shamim is going to try to inside. Haziq Aslan getting him to the mix as well. A bit of a bump between him and Zul. As Zul gets passed now by Ayman Shamim. Savi Radniake tries to take the opportunity, moves up as well. He goes up to 13.
3-4-1 there, almost 2, in fact 2-4-1 for Savi. He manages to get through. Zul was bogged a bit by Haziq Aslan, who was fading in that middle sector. He had a mistake one part, but then lost a few positions altogether. Now he's in P15. He was in that top 10, and look at that, the car still not liking it whatsoever. He definitely heated those tires badly.
He lost 11 seconds actually in that last lap. So yeah, he's fading really hard right now, which is very unusual given that we're only about 10 minutes, about 10 minutes through this race right now. Ooh. Oh boy.
Oh, that was close between Adam Hakim and Haziq Aslan. And these guys who have basically first names aplenty between both of them, they really are going for first together. Whoa, Psycho nearly got psyched out there. And wow, that was very close. And now we get to remember the name of the driver that used to race on controller, Sai Sudaka, if you remember him.
Oh, right.
Yep. But he had a Monza R5 towards the end. So Sai, we really love to come back because you would love to have raced at your home race. But either way, here they go side by side between Haziq and Adam onto the back straight. Coming up now to the hairpin.
Yeah, Haziq's trying to go around the outside, but Adam Hakim will be able to tuck in nicely. Stays on the racing line, stays ahead of Haziq through the exit right now. Psycho, in the meantime, just watching and intently on these two drivers, ready to pounce on this should both of these guys come together. But so far, Haziq Aslan has been able to keep himself nice and clean through that. Bit of a slide there, to be fair, on the chicane, but Adam Hakim is still able to keep up. Zul Akihara is still ahead of the two of them. Might be actually closing on them and actually forcing a bit of concertina there. Psycho gets forced off of the track.
Wow, that is so close. And in fact, Zul has faded as well this lap, because last time it was Haziq Aslan, this time it's Zul. So Psycho might be able to see his teammate now, but not in the way they would have wanted, because he'll be fighting for scraps here. There goes Adam Hakim onto the inside. We're staying on board with Psycho because he's got the best view in the house. And there goes Zul running wide. Can actually Haziq take advantage of this? But no, he couldn't.
Psycho almost having a look on the outside of Haziq Aslan, while all that's happening in a big slide there. Haziq Aslan's going to lose him the position for sure, or will it though? As Zul only managed to get up alongside, he will still keep this battle going into the final corner. Zul backs up a little bit. Haziq Aslan still comes through, takes a little bit of a wide line, but still a fast line nevertheless. Zul will still be able to be close to him though. Kind of loses a bit of the slipstream, but that was very intense there for sure.
Absolutely, and we're staying on board with... Oh no, that's a guy spinning!
That's one.
Zach Wong has spotted! Would you believe it? He was running in the top 15, and he has dropped it out. Might have been helped on the way, or he hit the curve wrongly, but a Speed 7 driver could have had points here, and it's all for naught now.
Yeah, oh boy, that's not good news at all here for Zach Wall. He was in such a comfortable position ever since the qualifying, but just one mistake. It's all it took to drop him outside of the points now. Sabi Radnyake, he's still on the chase to get even more points here as he is closing in with Arman Shamim, still continuing to give chase here to the Ferrari driver. The two of them have been absolutely at it for the last 5 minutes or so, and it's still going to continue this battle on, I believe.
Look at the state of Savi's car.
Yeah. Oh, gone wide there. Gone wide there is Shamim, and now Sabi Radnyake moves up to 11th.
Well, those who are supporting for Savi will definitely be happy for that. As oh, sorry, Nimesh. We forgot to mention him in the shout out to Savi, but we got it in the end. So Nimesh, don't be too mad. We were so excited to see the support for Savi that it becomes a bit swamped.
Yes, Nimesh Dean joining us inside the chat right now, cheering on his fellow countryman here who has just moved up to 11th place. So let's see how things will continue on as Zul continues his drop all the way down. He's already behind Kaiser right now, so he's been really falling all the way behind here. Well, that's a bit unfortunate here, but definitely faded really hard.
Yeah. In fact, we got the best look at the Itasha that Zul's running. Oh, look at that.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's really struggling to keep that car on the track right now. So Psycho will be able to move up ahead here and hopefully continue to chase here for the two VTubers who are out on track right now. How do you spin a GD3, bro?
You can be helped, though. You can actually spin it. So
oh, boy. A bit of a battle here for the championship, perhaps, as Ngoyong Jen is now being pressured hard here from Ethan Lau. Ethan going all the way up under the back of him through that back straight. Now we're coming up into the technical section here. Ethan is having a look around the outside of this bed here. Ngoyong Jen will be taking the defensive line through this, no doubt. But will Ethan Lau be able to find a good exit here? Ngoyong Jen takes a very defensive line throughout, trying to keep him blocked off. But Ethan managed to slip in just at the last moment here. Slides on the inside. Can he keep the position though? Yes, he will. Ngoyong Jen loses out to Ethan Lau as Ethan moves up to second place.
Oh, talk about a reverse in fortunes there and a psychological blow for Yongjan. But he will not give up this one because he knows full well that something can still happen in these championship fights. And remember, championship fights like in WRC 98. Yeah. Carlos Sainz Sr. losing it with just 300 meters to go because the engine blew.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's luck, you know, when it comes to motor racing. But right now, it's all about who can hang on for dear life here as Jeremy Yao, driving the Mean Dream Machine, is continuing to keep chase here to the 2 championship battlers right now. Ethan Lau, of course, being the leader, is ahead of the 3 of them here as they come across the line. As Enzo Isan has just been pulling away into the sunset right now, 4.5 seconds ahead of our of this train of cars right now. So he's certainly having a very dominating race.
Oh, we have Ethan Rubio in the pits, and I think he might have been disqualified because he just jumped back immediately. If you can see anything on the timing screen.
Nothing much here, unfortunately. But yeah, he seems to be out of it completely, as just disconnected from the server. So that's definitely a retirement here for Ethan Rubio. Darwin,
and Adam Hakim as well.
Yeah, Sabi Radniake though is moving up onto Darwin Xia and finds a position just as Darwin makes a mistake on the apex.
Wow, that is a fine bit of driving between the 2 of them. And remember, CMSC and LOR are pretty much the top teams in their respective countries. So Sri Lankan and Singaporean teams going toe-to-toe here. Though the LOR team, it might be a junior team, still full of banger drivers in there. And guess what? Darwin Chia will not be giving a down not without a fight. Meanwhile, something has happened to David Chen.
Yeah, David Chen's got passed just now, or rather is trying to pass Zarif Adam. Locked both of them, actually locked in a bit of a battle right now, so let's see how this is going to turn out. Dave Chen's currently ahead of Zarif Adam right now. Zarif trying to find a good line and a good position here. It's going to be a bit of a tight situation here for him, as Dave Chen is a little bit slow. Ooh, almost like brake checking here through that straight there, but Zarif Adam still is able to keep himself very much in focus here. Now coming out into the slightly banked turn, a very tricky turn to actually get a lot of good speed and time out of, but seems like Zarif is able to get a good exit out of that. Gains in onto Dave Chen, but Dave's keeping his car very wide on track right now, so Zarif still is not able to find a way through.
Meanwhile, Darwin Chia has actually lost a couple of positions more. He's actually dropped behind Psycho. He's only ahead of Zulakihara. So something might have happened there in that middle sector. Probably he went off track and got stuck in the sticky AstroTurf. Regardless of that, it has been quite a good battle for those behind. As you can see here, the gaggle of cars coming through and lining up, trying to get by Zul Akihara, including one. Oh no! There we go!
No!
Just as we were talking about Akihara, there he goes into the grass. He really buckled under pressure there, and really the race has gone pear-shaped for him. What was a blinding start to get up to the top 15, it has turned completely on its head.
Yeah, well, that sucks, really, but hopefully he'll be able to keep his head together, though, as he's continuing to try to keep the battle up with, of all people, Zek Wong right now. Zarif Adam, Dave Chen were still battling when last we saw them. They're still battling as we come back to them, and still is Dave Chen ahead of Zarif Adam. Zarif, he's been a very hard worker all throughout the season here. Let's see if he's going to be able to put a lot of his experience to bear right now as he tries to have a peek on the inside, not able to outbrake Dave Chen. Dave leaves a little bit of a gap, but not quite enough. Zarif looks like he looked like he was trying to sneak his way through, but Dave just closed the door on him in the nick of time.
And the car bounced over. Again, I still have to stand by the fact that it looks like Iro Hazaka's jump in Initial D.
Elliot is just singing praises and Savi, saying that the way he did a switchback was so nonchalant. He's joining the fan club right now as we speak.
Yep, he is now a Sri Lankan by adoptive nation, adoptive citizenship, shall we say, on that one. He really was sporting on Savi, not because only the way he drove, but also the car he's driving right now, the Lamborghini with the V10 on song.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be enjoying that sound as we continue to ride on board here with Sabi Ratniyake. He's got a bit of a gap right now to catch up to Rezwan Shah, about 3.5 seconds. So with 10 minutes remaining, let's see whether or not he'll be able to close that gap. And Rezwan's not really doing it well. Going a little bit wide in that corner, almost off onto the over the curbs there. We'll see how this will turn out, because I think Rezwan's actually struggling a little bit. I mean, he's like down 3/10 when it comes to his deltas, as we just lost Haziq Aslan on the server right now, so it looks like a DNF here for Haziq Aslan, and Zek Wong trying his very best to keep his position from Zul, but unfortunately that's all to no avail as he loses the time by riding over the sausage curb.
Yep, as meanwhile John Emmanuel Ramos is having a good fight with Muhammad Hakimi. There you go, side by side between the both of them. These guys actually have liveries, by the way. John Emmanuel Ramos is driving for Swift Sim Racing, while Hakimi is driving for Papega Red Pack, but unfortunately the liveries didn't pop up properly in this one. But pretend that for those who are supportive of their team, they are there, as you can see. Nimesh Dean signs a MOU, a bilateral agreement between the two governments of Sri Lanka and America. As meanwhile, Hakimi gets overtaken by Ramos.
Yep, right, not quite. Hakimi still is able to retake his position, and John Ramos is still stuck behind. Still able to get a slipstream off of Hakimi. Hakimi is driving the only Nissan GTR in this class right now. It's under pressure here from John Manuel Ramos's Cadillac. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it under braking, though. He has the advantage when it comes to his racing line, but can he make it an exit, though? The Nissan is a little bit difficult to rotate around, and indeed, Mohamed Hakimi will not be able to keep his position after all.
Wow, that's been unfortunate for him, that not enough of a grunt to get by the Cadillac, which is actually pretty much the shape of a hearse. But somehow, Ramos just manages to get it around and takes away 15 from Hakimi for now. But we'll wait and see how the other battles shape up, because as you can see, Jeremy Yao and... Oh no, in fact, I thought Jeremy was ahead, but Jeremy's behind here. Ethan is under severe pressure.
Yeah, Ngoyon Jen tries to have a look around the outside. He's actually trying to tuck in on the exit here, but Ethan Lau is keeping himself very close to that curb indeed to try to hog that racing line. Keeps his position as well to try to keep Ngoyon Jen at bay. Ngoyon Jen's continuing to try to pressure him on the exit, but gets blocked off there by Ethan Lau. Still remains in P3 for now.
For now at least, but you can tell full well this is going to be into Enzo Isan's favor. As Elliot did remind us earlier that he had a jump start in Fuji while on pole position. He made no mistake this time. He will take the final race win of the season.
Yep.
But meanwhile, how's Yongjan going to stop in time? He gets it in time and takes P2 away from Ethan Lau. But for how long?
For how long, though? Ethan Lau is still trying to fight him back, and Jeremy Yao the whole time is just lurking behind the two of them, hoping they will continue that battle so they can get closer and closer and turn this into a fatal three-way. Goyoung Jen loses out to Ethan Lau just under braking there as Jeremy Yao closes in onto the two AMGs. No, and a bit of a touch and go there as Jeremy Yao had slammed on the brakes to avoid Goyoung Jen. Ethan Lau going a little bit wide onto the turf right now, coming into the sweeper. Ooh, boy, that was a very tight situation between the two of them, but right now Ethan Lau still remains up in P2.
And you can see the bit of dust being kicked out because Ethan actually ran so wide, he had to cut across the corner there, but he manages to keep the position from Yongjan. But to all three of their detriments, they have actually dropped a second behind Enzo. So now there's nothing stopping between the young Singaporean and a win here in Global Edition Bronze class. Though the hearts and minds are being won by those guys battling for the final positions on the rostrum.
Yeah, well, Ethan Lau closing in onto Ngoyen Jen, who is also closing in onto Ethan Lau. They're now on the main straight, getting a slipstream off each other. An exciting three-way battle now with 7 minutes remaining. I want to see whether or not Elliot's prediction of an ACL tear on Ethan Lau is going to come to pass at the 5th minute, because we're only 2 minutes away from that, and Ethan is under severe pressure right now.
Yeah, he's ice cold. We've not seen him crack at all, so I think Ethan might have got to this covered, but the way that he wins the championship like this is probably not what he wanted. Either way, Nimesh Deon, the hand is talking politics on this. I don't think we can mention that one, but the president of Sri Lanka is talking to the current president of the United States. Well, at least it's better than the Rajapaksas, I say.
Well, politics in the ERGP chat apparently, as Jeremy Yao continues to keep chase onto Ngoyon Jen, and Ethan Lau was still locked in that championship battle, by the way, although Ethan still has a massive advantage even if this ends up being the finishing positions of these two drivers here. So if anything, Ngoyon Jen is the one with more to lose here compared to what Ethan has at the moment. So let's see how this will turn out in the next 6 minutes or so, as Ethan Lau now having to try to fight it out, try to stay on the P2 ahead of Goyoung Jen.
Meanwhile, there's another battle forming here between Rezwan Shah, Dave Chen, and I think Zarif Adam is just within earshot as well. So that's a battle for P7 between two Mercedes and a Ford in between, and Rezwan has actually proven to haul that car up real far.
Oh no! Big mistake there from Dave Chen. Rezwan Shah comes around the outside, but still is not able to find the speed. Dave Chen retakes his line, still goes a little bit wide on the next bit though, but Rezwan's not able to capitalize this time around. Tries to close in there in his Ford Mustang, but Dave Chen is looking a little bit shaken, definitely a bit stirred right now. Let's see whether or not he'll be able to hold on to 8th.
Ooh, that was nip and tuck stuff, isn't it? That particular section, that second sector really can make or break someone's race. And for Dave Chen, he probably saw some flashes in his eyes, thinking that, oh no, that's the race gone. But luckily, the car is still pointing in the right direction. As meanwhile, behind him, Res1 Shah we're on board with right now is ready to take advantage if Dave has another slip-up.
Yeah, I think Darwin Shah is also getting pounced by Lukmanu Hakim just off camera right now. So Res1 Shah continues to keep the pressure going on to Dave Chen here. And Lukmanu has moved up to 13th place. Well done there for the driver in the Ferrari. Dave Chen right now under severe pressure from Res1 behind. You can see in the rearview mirror just how much it's closing in under braking right now. And Zara Adams so far ahead here. He's definitely not going to be lending any favors here to Dave Chen in terms of slipstream, especially on this very fast part. So Dave is just going to have to be absolutely precise on when he steps on the gas and exits here.
And speaking of how precise he was, that was actually a very good exit out of turn number 3 that heads onto this long back straight, whereas Res1 actually took a bit of gravel on the outside. So the HSM driver probably was not going to aim for a move for this particular lap, but for sure, he has that Mercedes in his sights.
Yeah, we're coming around another part of the straight here. We're coming into the technical discussion again. It was around the next few corners that Dave Chen made the mistake early on that allowed Res1 to get this close in. Let's see whether or not he'll be able to keep it together for this next series of turns here. Dave Chen still keeping it nice and tidy so far. Looking good here so far for Dave Chen. Staying within half a second ahead of Res1 Shah, but certainly a lot of pressure.
Whoa!
A little bit. No! Res1 makes the mistake. Into the wall he goes.
Oh, he tried to keep it neat and tidy as well, but he might have been spooked for a second. The fact that a bit of grass was being kicked up and he just loses it. Amazingly, he only lost one position because Safi Ratayake comes through and takes yet another freebie.
And just like that, he gains another place there, does Sabi Ratnayake. What a brilliant drive for him so far. A legendary comeback indeed from the Sri Lankan driver who was really out of the points early on. This race has now finally found another stroke of luck coming his way towards the tail end of this race.
Yeah. He's actually in the position nearly where he started. He was in the top 10. I think he was 10th exactly. But what a comeback for him. Imagine if he was up in front, he would really be lighting up the charts. Either way, that Lamborghini is motoring along nicely.
Yeah, I think Darwin is going to be in danger of losing another position if John Ramos actually catches up to him here. He's already all over the back of him. Of the Singaporean right now is the Filipino. See, right now we'll be able to get a nice slipstream on this main straight. Darwin Shah is going to have to formulate his defensive strategy right now as we speak, as John Ramos tries to go for the dive, but Darwin just closes it in the nick of time.
Yep, but for how long can he keep dips up? Because he did compromise his exit coming up to turn 2. And there you go! Case in point. That dive was coming because he knew full well that Darwin had no drive out of that first corner, and Ramos gets it up to P13.
Yeah, as Xavi Adams made a mistake. He lost 2 places there. Savi Radanyake moves up to 8, and Dave Chen moves up to 7th.
Wow, and you know what? Savi might actually get yet another position here if Dave actually makes another mistake.
Well, let's see how this will turn out. Oh, Savi is getting very, very squirrely through that chicane just now. Absolutely pounding those curbs there in his Lamborghini, as Ngo Young Jen still continues to keep chase onto Ethan Lau throughout this next few minutes here. One or I think maybe 2 more laps to go here, as we already see Enzo Isan already at turn 1 here with 1 minute and a half remaining in this race.
Might not be enough to do another lap. We'll see first. But remember that Lamborghini used to start as a tractor company. So Sabi is living up to that one. Sabi was mowing the grass and then some.
Yeah, well, just keeping the grass nice and short, especially around the apexes for sure, as he's closing in on the Dave Chen. Look at how close he's getting into that right now.
Oh, this actually proves that the Mercedes may not be the all-meta car. People have overlooked the Lamborghini for so long. I think Sabi might have opened up options for next season here.
Oh, for sure. I want to definitely see a lot more Lambos in the next season here. Closing on the Dave Chen, under braking right now. Savi is on the cusp of making it work out for him. Enzo Isan, in the meantime, almost halfway through his race lap right now. His final lap, actually, of this race. Look at that bumper to bumper right now. Savi Radanyake closes on Dave Chen. Had to stand on the brakes just now to avoid a collision.
Yeah, that would have actually gone pear-shaped if this heroic drive actually was incurring a penalty towards the end, but luckily that didn't happen. as me. Well, that was an interesting transition, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Shamim.
Meanwhile,
Shamim right now actually closes in under the Rizwan shot, trying to get into the 10th position here between the two of them. A bit of a drag race coming into this next turn, but Shamim might just have an advantage. You can find it under braking here. Braking hard both of these cars as Shamim will be able to take ahead of him, but I think the Mustang will be able to get him back on the exit, especially with Shamim going a little bit too wide.
oh wow, that was definitely the switchback that Race 1 was planning to.
Isan.
Yep, and so Isan's going to come around the final corner here, and he will take the first win of ERGP Global Edition for himself. What a way to end the season to do so. The very final round, and he wins it for Sen. You can see fist pumping, he's happy, but
Yeah.
he won't be as happy compared to Ethan Lau because he actually wins the championship.
Yeah, Ethan Lau wins it, getting ahead of Ngoyon Jen. Jeremy Yao finishes in 4th. I do want to see what happens to Sabi Radiyake though. Asuka comes through to take 5th place. Eric Satra takes in 6th. So Radiyake and Dave Chen are locked in battle right now, trying to get alongside each other. Sabi Radiyake finds the inside. He's moving up into 7th place. He can just keep it ahead of Dave Chen. He might just be able to pull this one off. Tries to hold him up into the final corner. Dave Chen goes for the dive here against Sabi Radiyake. A drag race right now to the finish as Dave Chen cuts in front of the Lamborghini. He's trying to beat him to the line, and he does beat him to the line. 7th place for Dave Chen, 8th place for Sabi Radiyake, and 9th here for Zarif Adam Shazli, and Shamim will successfully take 10th place ahead of Rezwan Shah.
Oh wow, what a final lap. And I think in between both of that, they were threading the needle because Zach Wong actually spun it again, and somehow Savi managed to get on top of that, but then Dave Chen with a really ballsy dive to get it back to get it up to P8 at the end. P7 at the end. Wow, what a way to end the season. And for Enzo Isan, he'll be the happiest guy in the entire server other than Ethan Lau to take victory and vindication for what was a very tough season. But regardless, he ends it on a high.
Yeah, the driver from the junior LOR team is certainly going to be making his fellow countrymen as well as his team very proud indeed. What a way to finish the season off for him. He may have lost out on a chance on a championship, but this is definitely a very highlighted performance here. Vernon Viper 06 says Savi is the driver of the session easily. Well, I mean, I have to agree that was some exciting moves that we saw from Sabi Radiyake throughout this entire final race here. And it's just a shame that he didn't quite keep his position well from the start of the race here. You can only imagine what could have been if he had qualified in that top 5 and actually stayed there throughout the race here.
Indeed, and again, it's just testament that race pace is almost as important as quali.
Yeah.
But quali lays the foundation. So you really have to get it right from the word go. As, well, outside of that top 10, Shamim, it was 10 we saw just now finishing in front of Rezwan Shah. Psycho Kaiser points on debut in 12th. John Emmanuel Ramos 13th, Darwin Chia 14th, and the final point of the season goes to Muhammad Hakimi, in front of Lukman Al-Hakim, and then Zul Akihara, who unfortunately faded towards the end. He's 17th. Sherman Seng, Wilson Woon, Zach Wong are your finishers. The rest of the field were DNFs, but Ethan Lau is easily the champion because there's no way he was challenged up to that point. You know full well when he took both hands off the wheel across the line, he felt it. He done it.
Yep, another unofficial champion. This time for the bronze class here is Ethan Lau. He joins in together with SM Fauzi, who is the unofficial champion of the copper class. So that's already 2 races that are done for this evening. We still have 1 more to go, which is our 2 combined classes of gold and silver coming up soon here. That's going to be with the Le Mans prototype car, so you know it's going to be an extremely fast-paced battle here coming soon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all that, because we're going to be bringing you guys the final race of the season coming up right after these messages.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with the unofficial winner of the Bronze Class Championship. We got Ethan Lau in the house here. Ethan, congratulations on that race there. I mean, wow, just tell me right now, how are you feeling here, man?
I feel great. It was a very nice battle with Yongjen, and I'm just really happy I won the championship for bronze.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been quite the journey for you, hasn't it? I mean, of all the 4 rounds that we ran so far in GE17, which one do you feel has been the hardest one for you to fight in out of all these 4 races we've been so far?
For me, it would be round 3 in Buriram because for that day, I wasn't really on the mood of driving. So I kind of did some mistakes which I kind of regret, but the results was still okay, but it definitely narrowed the gap between me and my fellow teammates Yongjen and Elliot, which made me kind of nervous for round 4.
Well, I mean, certainly it would have been really bad actually if he actually ended up missing it out in round number 3. But nevertheless, though, this circuit here, Buddh International Circuit, has been a really interesting one. I mean, it's one that we've not run at all in ERGP. What are your thoughts about the track here? How does it feel actually to drive on this kind of track?
This track actually feels really nice to drive. There's long straights for you to overtake drivers, and especially the sector 2 is pretty tight, but it does sometimes give you a very narrow gap to overtake, which is pretty risky, but all in all, it's really fun.
Sounds like you definitely had a lot of fun throughout the season here. So regardless, you know, I think like it's been a very long time coming here for you, especially, I mean, coming into this final race already had a really significant lead, but nevertheless, you know, it's all about how you finished the race, wasn't it? So I mean, right now with you having already wrapped up this season here, what's going to be the next step, as it were, for you here, Ethan?
I think the main thing is champion for silver, but I highly doubt it because there's a lot of fast drivers in silver.
I mean, never say never.
You know, I'll definitely. Yeah, I mean, you should always try, even though it's a very slight chance, because you might find a miracle.
Right. Nice words there, Ethan. So, last but not least, just going to be giving the floor for you. Any shout-outs you'd like to give, anyone you'd like to thank, and anyone else, anything else you'd like to say to our viewers back at home?
I'd like to thank my family for supporting me ever since Copper started out at Copper, and I'd like to thank my team, Pepega Racing, and their contribution with Red Pack has been amazing. New drivers into the team, more teamwork and everything. And to all the viewers out there, I hope you enjoy eRGP.
Yeah, I was certainly enjoying it a lot, especially Elliot, who has been, he had been predicted that you were going to tear your ACL at the 5-minute mark, so maybe you'll be having a few words with him after this. But nevertheless, congratulations once again, Ethan Lau, the unofficial winner of the bronze class here in GE17. So give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that is our bronze and copper classes already wrapped up this evening. So 2 championships already done. We got another 2 more championships here to run for here, ladies and gentlemen, because we are now at the final race of this evening here. So gold and silver class will be coming up here. They're going to be driving the Le Mans prototype cars. It's going to be a lot faster. I'm already seeing from the practice times that these cars are absolutely rapid here on the track. Let's have a look right now at where the championship stands right now for our gold class drivers. Chester Lam right now is the clear leader here. The man from Hong Kong has 110 points to his name. That puts him almost 25 points, 26 points clear of Keith Moore.
Yep, with in fact 26 points ahead. But when we flip the script, it's 15. So Chester may not be sitting up so pretty. In fact, we're looking at our camera on track right now. They're both beside each other's pit stall. So psychological battles plenty if Keith can get ahead of Chester during qualifying. Either way, that's how it stands here. But Cameron James is not that far away either. He can still, because remember, it's 49 points completely to score here. You never know what's going to happen in the final race. Regardless of that, top 3, let's bring it on for the gold class. Meanwhile, in the silver class, it's a similar story because you see the points here and the major collision that happened between both Iman Ryan and Alonso Lacambra last time out at Buriram really has thrown a spanner into the works because Chester Elog and Descalzo are still in it with a shout when we look at this. But flip the script, it's just as close.
Just as close. Actually,
it's really close.
At least, I think it's probably one of the closer championship battles that we've had in all 4 classes of racing here in GE17. So we can already see that Alonso is only about, 11 points ahead of Iman Ryan.
Yep.
Iman's only at 4 points ahead of Chester Elog, and Chester, conversely, is only about 8 points ahead of Alberto Miguel Descalo. So I think it's a very tight battle between even these top 4 drivers. And not to mention, even Zef Yuan is even a very long shot, but still a shot nevertheless of trying to battle into this championship.
23 points between the top 4 here.
Yeah.
That's less than a race win in normal circumstances. Plus the fact that we have more points on offer here, it really proves that the championship, regardless of how you spin it, is close in the silver class, both in the real table and in the drop point stakes, which count towards the final championship standings. Now, going to qualifying and bang on cue, we're ready to go for qualifying here. And we're going to go back to that shot of what we were talking about while we were viewing the championship standings. There is Keith Moore. He is on fire in a practice session, 5/10 of a second in front of Chester Lam, and he's ahead of Chester in the pit lane as well. So is that a precursor of what's to come, or is that just a psychological battle that Keith is willing to win even right at this point? We'll see. We'll wait and see first.
It's just so funny that both of them are literally like garage mates, practically, like coming into this final race itself. And you know, even though Chester, I would say, has a bigger chance given that he has been very dominant even all the 3 previous rounds here. So Keith Moore is going to have a lot of work to do, but he's already fired off the first volley, as it were, with that half-second faster practice time. But it is still just practice. You know, we still have yet to see how it's going to turn out when we get to the actual flying laps and qualifying here, of which we will have 10 whole minutes to try to determine who will be the fastest driver on the grid later on. It is, after all, a Format B race, so a 30-minute long affair here for both our gold class and silver class drivers, so plenty of situations can arise, you know, within those 30 minutes.
And you have to remember, because we got silver drivers and MP2 cars here as well, you're looking at the championship elect. One of them, Alonso Marcos Lacambra in the Hatsune Miku livery for Adrenaline Alliance Motorsport. He is sitting pretty as well in that position to be in championship fight, but looks like in practice, Lacambra did not put a time on the board, so we'll wait and see if he's actually just keeping his powder dry here. As now, qualifying proper is about to get underway, and Lacambra is the first to go off the blocks.
Yeah, he's wasting no time at all. He wants to get things started. Oh, will he though? He's just actually backing off a bit, letting some of the other cars move up ahead here, just kind of weaving around, trying to get some heat in his tires maybe by doing a bit of burnouts. So, wow, he's just doing everything he can right now to try to get his car set up properly for his flying lap. So we're also seeing Kamal Ali as well as Imran Ryan also pulling out of the pit lane and into the track right now. We got Shung as well as Abbas right now out on track here, along with Ahmad Jusmin and Kazami Ramdani. Adam Harif also driving one of the two Honda Acuras in this race here. His teammate Cameron James is also a potential contender in this championship here, being third overall coming into this final round. So that's going to be something to watch out for.
Yeah. And also, you see Jusmin just now was tailing Ayman Hakim because these two, no love lost between the both of them when we were in Buriram. They were in the wars together at the edge of that top 10. And guess what? It's still on it here. Add Ramdani as well into the mix, and you got really, really fast guys together. Something has to split between all of them because otherwise they will impede each other in qualifying. It looks as though it's going to be the case. And behind them, it's Adam Harif, so Murdoch in the Acura, also joining this particular train of cars.
Yeah, they're all sizing each other up really through this qualifying. Ayman Hakim loses out though. He takes to the grass and unfortunately has to back out of this lap here, allowing Kazani Ramdani and Adam Harif to pull on ahead. I mean, I still want to see what kind of lap times we're going to be seeing from our top 5 here. What was it, 137 was it during practice early on?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh boy, there we go.
Murdoch goes around the outside there. Murdoch has to go off the track.
Yeah, goes off the track there. As Keith Moore will be one of the first to start. They're flying laps here. That's only the out lap right now for our drivers here. So we still get to see what the actual lap times will be. I'm expecting going to be in the low 138s, maybe 137s here for the top 5. Let's see who's going to be the first one to hit that mark here. Keith Moore will be definitely one of the favorites coming into our Gold Class Finals here, because again, he is locked in that championship battle together with Chester Lam, who is still quite far back in the track right now. He's taking his sweet time to get out onto the track here, so we'll see how his own laps are going to be coming through. There we go. That's Chester Lam on your screens right now, just coming across the line here to start his flying lap.
Yeah, and I think he's done tactically so because he's got 10 minutes to do qualifying. And if he has clear air with no bogs whatsoever, he could easily just do a few laps and just get first a banker time on the board and then improve on that subsequently afterwards with no interruptions. So it's a good way to do so, but the impetus on him to get that lap on is going to be even more tense because he's further behind.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, they will also have, don't forget, the silver class drivers also out on track at the same time. Set the qualifying session here. Chester Elog will also be one to watch out for. So is Imran Ryan, of course, Alonso Marcus Lacambra. These are going to be 3 of the main characters as far as the silver class is concerned. Imran Ryan driving the tribute livery to the 555, the Super Impreza classic livery there, now translated into what it will look like on her LMP2 car.
Yep, and the fact that the 555 colors did appear out in other cars before, namely the BAR Honda. No, in fact, it is a Honda back in 2006 in China as well, in Shanghai. So it's quite a great segue to what is this weekend's Grand Prix in the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. As Chester Lam, Chester we talked about earlier not having bogs. Well, that banker lap unfortunately has a championship contender from Silver in the way, though luckily not much of a disturbance.
Well, hopefully not too much though, as we're already seeing some flying lap times being posted here. Muhammad Azhar is currently the provisional pole holder at 137.798. That puts him just barely a tenth of a second ahead of Keith Moore. As I just say that Chester Lam has just beaten them to the punch. 137.681, enough to keep him on provisional pole.
Indeed, and that's only the banker lap, mind you. He had that crazy moment with Iman Ryan when Iman was just having a bit of an off and Chester just had to come by, but it didn't deter him from taking pole position. But now he's got other LMP2s in front, so his work to clear them is not done just yet. And remember, even 10 minutes, there's not clear separation between the LMP2s and hypercars. It can get quite dodgy.
Yeah, it's like a 4-second difference, I think, between like sorry, actually more than 4 seconds of time between like the fastest silver class driver and the fastest gold class driver here, so I think he'll be catching up to the silver class driver sooner rather than later. Ooh, Keith Moore in the meantime, well, the
Jusmin went off
just went way off there for sure.
to give room to Ramdani, his teammate, and to Keith Moore.
Yep, as they both will come across the line. Keith Moore takes the provisional pole, 137.3, but Kanani Haki comes in with a 137.2. Times are really collapsing fast here out on this Buddh International Circuit here, my friend. Oh, this is looking like this is going to be an absolute shootout here for all the top drivers in the gold class, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and the fact that they're close to Keith Mo's time in practice, which was 37 flat, tells you that, well, some of these guys are keeping their pace under wraps, at least until the qualifying session begins. And it's coming to the fore right now, but it's still not topped yet. And here is Chester.
Yeah.
And is that Chester? It is.
It is Chester.
Yeah, because no, that's not.
Is that?
The way he turned out? No, in fact, it is. Because I get confused with some of the pictures they posted. One picture, Chester looks like he had little hair, and then the next picture, he has more hair than we expected.
It might be taken months apart, maybe.
Maybe, because one of the photos I saw last time was when he was taking part in the international championships that were taking place in Malaysia a couple of years back. So, yeah, a bit different, but regardless of that, we finally get to see Chester live in the flesh.
Yeah, well, we'll see how things will turn out here. In the meantime, Chester Lam is just fired back here. 136.7. Wow! That's an incredible time here from Chester Lam.
Yep, and no wonder he's looking very bullish about it. In fact, you can tell this is probably the game plan. Just try to hold back until the very final moment, thinking, well, that's his fastest, and then suddenly out of nowhere goes through. But Keith Mo does it even better here for himself. He goes out to P2. And with a 37, oh no, he goes to the inside!
Whoa!
That's a dive! A big boy dive on Ramdani. Ramdani himself also improved, but a 36 himself.
Yeah, I think Ramdani was just as shocked as we were to see Keith Mo go for that dive. But again, Keith Mo is on a chase right now. Is only 2/10s behind Chester Lam in terms of qualifying time. So he's got a lot of optimization to find on this track right now. He wants to beat Chester Lam to pole position. In the meantime, Iman Ryan just barely misses out on a podium here for the silver class here. Only 500ths of a second behind Azib Shami Mokhtar here. So the Pepeka racing driver actually looking pretty strong.
Well, it's been a season to forget for these guys in silver after what was a romp in the bronze class previously for Azib, for Justin, and for Amir Rafiq. Now they get to at least finish on a high because they know full well there's nothing to lose, so they can just take it easy. But surprisingly, even though they're taking it easy, it's still a fast time. So Azib provisionally on pole in the silver class for now, in front of Imarai Miso, who is warming up his tires for another run. The Scouser right in front of him here is P3. Hopefully it doesn't bog him because it could get quite dicey between evenly matched cars. Regardless of that, we're only just getting started in this final phase of qualifying where the times are beginning to drop, Vic.
Yeah, and interestingly, like both Chester, Keith Mo, and Kanzani Ramdani are like literally one behind the other in the track position order right now. As Chester Lam comes across onto the main straight, so does Keith Mo. Keith Mo now sets a 136.697. That beats Chester Lam by a whole tenth of a second. Incredible time here from Keith Mo. Wow.
And you know, he did that by overtaking Ramdani to turn one.
Right.
Somehow he managed to find the time. So really then, nothing stopping Keith apart from those LMP2s in front. If Iman Ryan gets in the way as well, that would be quite interesting. Iman Ryan, who himself is chasing for pole here in the silver class. That could get quite interesting if they see each other. Meanwhile, where is Azib? Azib has come to a stop in qualifying. Descalzo takes pole position in silver.
Oh boy, Descalo coming in hot right now. Just gets into a tenth of a second ahead of Azib Mokhtar. Chester Lam still trying to keep those tires warmed up as he's looking like he's trying to keep it together in his technical section. Looks like it's still just swinging around, really not pushing too hard right now. He's in fact going to cancel this lap.
In fact, no, he's waiting for Velasquez to come by. He probably saw Velasquez with the delta dropping bit by bit because he's coming. He's on the lap as well in P9. So the LOR Ascent driver, if in the Lamborghini, has really not had the best of qualifying sessions. Stop-start season for him as well, but regardless of that, he will improve his time and he's up to the top 5. So that's 1 point for him.
Yep, well, still all eyes right now on Keith Moore here, who is currently the provisional pole holder here. Chesalam is following behind him right now, but Keith is already closing in one of the silver class drivers on the final corner. Let's see if he's going to be able to improve his time more. He's actually going to get blocked off a little bit by Iman Ryan. Checker flag's already coming out here. I don't think he'll be able to pull this off, or rather, not going to be able to improve his time. Indeed, he does not improve on his time right now. Still stays in provisional pole right now, though. Chesalam comes across. I don't think he'll be able to set a time either, so he still remains in that pole in the front row here alongside Keith Moore, so certainly a position that he will still be kind of happy with. At least he will still be in that championship fight with Keith Moore in that regard. Kazani Ramdani confirms his third position so far, takes the checkered flag right now. Ganani Haki as well as Michael Vincent Velasquez are still out of track, still pushing a little bit. Let's see if there are going to be any more improvements up on the board here.
Yep, well, all the while Keith was stuck behind Iman Ryan. Iman actually improved his time to be second, but 300ths off Descalzo. And remember, these are all championship rivals.
Yep.
Apart from Azishami Mokhtar, who's a bit of an interloper in between there, the top 3 in the championship are in the top 5 in this particular qualifying session. So, waiting to see how that plays out when the race comes by. And meanwhile, Chester, what's his time looking big?
Yeah, I mean, he's 1/10 up actually in his delta right now, so he might be in a good spot here to actually keep Keith Moore in order to knock him off of that perch here. He just needs to keep it together. Look at that, it's almost 2/10 up by the time he comes around that final quarter. Let's see, as he comes across the line right now, is he going to be able to get it? No dice, he still stays in P2.
So Keith then, psychological advantage coming into the race. He manages to sneak in pole, but we do know for one thing, he's been practicing his starts. Because his starts have not been the best, and he has a hand clutch too, so either he's going to do a hand clutch start, or he's going to try to do stabbing the foot pedal clutch to get a launch off the line. Regardless of that, that whole shot to turn 1 is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Now, a few drivers are on track still to do their qualification. Haki is crossing the line. He's done. Now, where is Lacambra? Because he is... No, Lacambra can finish the lap! He actually couldn't finish it! So, Alonso Lacambra will start 4th in the LMP2 category in silver, but he will be in close company with his championship rival. So, we cannot call this one. This is way too close. We can confirm in copper and bronze who won that, but in this one, this is gonna be even more nip and tuck, because look at this.
Yeah.
We had to highlight this shot quite a lot because the two championship contenders are within earshot of each other.
Literally staring each other down in the pit lane itself. So, wow, this is going to be an exciting one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be seeing a finale here. I mean, Chester Lam has the advantage in terms of points, but Keith Moore might just be able to pull an upset here if he can successfully not only keep Chester Lam behind, but if Chester doesn't turn out a good race this time around, Keith Moore might just be able to eke it in. But certainly the championship is going to be a lot tighter for the silver class here. I mean, Alonso Marquez Lacambra is the leader, but only just by a slim margin. All of his championship competitors are actually qualified in front of him here, so he's going to have a lot of work to do here if he wants to be able to keep this one here. In fact, like looking at the points right now for the silver class, want to see exactly what kind of margins we can expect to be, between them.
14 points now.
14 points.
So that's the difference between Keith and Chester as we speak. Now, we're not going to do a live arithmetics. We can only just do it periodically. And we cannot call it until we do the official tallying later on. Because, again, we have had incidents in the past where we thought that we crowned a champion, but it turns out that some mathematical error in the way caused a different champion to be crowned later on. So we're not going to call it here too soon. It will be way too premature. We'll just let the race happen as it is. Yeah,
we're just going to call this very race result itself. And for Lacambra, it's going to be vital for him to try to finish in front of Azib Mokhtar, in front of Iman Ryan, and especially in front of Descalzo here. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Another 30 minutes of racing to go here, ladies and gentlemen. The final race of GE17, gold class and silver class. Now taking to the grid right now, Keith Moore and Chester Lam are going to be 2 to watch out for in the gold class fight. Alberto Descalzo, Iman Ryan, Azib Mokhtar, and Alonso Lacambra are 4 drivers to watch out in the silver class. Red lights are going on in the gantry here, and when we are off, we're going to be going to the races here for gold and silver class GE17 final race. Look at Chesalam, good start from him, able to pull up alongside Keepo and snatches a position as Keepo gets covered from behind from Galandi Haki. Galandi moves up into second. He's going to be followed closely by Adam Harif, who moves up to third, trying to find a way behind Chesalam, who's not right now under pressure for the lead of the race. Chesalam stays up ahead and Adam Harif stays on the outside while Galandi Haki loses a bit of control. Keepo is all over alongside him. A three-wide situation on the track right now. Adam Harif actually had to back up a little bit. Keepo is now slightly ahead of Galandi Haki. He needs to find out a braking. Adam Harif is going to try to go for the dive on the inside. He goes in under braking, gets ahead of Keepo. Can he keep it there though? A bump and grind from behind. It's Galandi Haki still is not able to get past Adam Harif.
Ramdani goes a bit off there. He actually slid into the grass as Haki goes onto the inside, trying to get by Adam Harif. Keith Mo, with the start that he did not want, he actually let Chester get the whole shot, and he was swamped by the field. Mercifully for him, though, he manages to keep it together, but he knows full well a race is on right now for the championship as Haki goes a bit wide. Murdoch goes into P3.
Yeah, Murdoch moves up now. Galandi Haki looked like he was on for second place here, but loses out over the course of the lap. Chesalam, in the meantime, pulls away 1 whole second ahead of Keepo. What a brilliant start here from the Hong Konger. As Keepo, again, the curse of the starts has still befallen him in this final race.
Oh, wow. And all the while, then, we have not focused much on the LMP2, guys, because here it is.
Yeah,
there's that
so.
one. Oh, there was someone going off. Actually, it was Ayman Hakim. Ayman Hakim was on the grass. He trimmed a bit of the Indian grass there. But meanwhile, this is the battle for the championship. Elog and Lacambra. Elog goes through, Lacambra goes wide. Oh, somebody has spun onto the curbs.
Yeah, that did not disrupt the silver class drivers here. They're tangling together with the gold class drivers. Got Muhammad Azza as well as Ayman Hakim now fighting side by side in identical cars and identical liveries right now. Braking hard into the first turn. Here comes Alonso Welkers Macambra around the outside here, trying to keep up with both of these Le Mans hypercars here in an LMP2. Look at that, still tangled in the mix here. Chester Elo trying to find a way through this massive traffic jam here, but as soon as they get to the straights, the gold class drivers will stay ahead, but Chester Elo gets a bit of a slipstream off of the back Alonso. He's going to try to look around the outside of the next turn here. Can this work out for him? It's going to be a very hard braking point coming up ahead. Alonso is just hanging on for dear life. A bit of a touch between the two. Tire to tire right now. Chester has to take the wider line. Can he find it on the exit though? Alonso Lacambra watches out for a car trying to rejoin from the side. That's Michael Vincent Velasquez who takes a spill onto the grass there. Gets into the way of Chester Elo as he attempts to try to get alongside. Cannot try to find a way through. That's Marcus Lacambra gets a bit of contact as well. Jerry Yu is also getting into the mix here. Lots of obstacles going on here for all silver class leaders.
Left, right, and center, wherever you look, everybody's going off. But amazingly, no one's actually spun into the path of anybody and causing a big one. So that is a consolation that everyone can take into, as now, after just only about 4 minutes in the race, a lot has happened.
A lot has happened, an entire book's worth of incidents here for sure to keep track of, but we're still only barely into the first 5 minutes of this race. Alberto Miguel Descalo, who was the pole sitter for silver class right now, struggling to keep up with Lacambra and Elog right now. As
And it was Haki that spun in the corner in the previous lap. Here he comes now to take position. Haki, who was up there battling for P2 behind Chester Lam, has dropped it all the way to P13 overall and outside the top 10 in the gold class.
Yeah, and interesting thing actually to note is that the LMP2 cars can actually keep up quite well with the Le Mans hypercars when it comes to straights, but not so much in the corners. So that's really the places where you'll see the gold class drivers actually gain the advantage on these LMP2 cars. In the meantime, speaking of gold class, Cameron James and Adam Harif teammates right now in battle for the podium. Cameron James has the inside. He's going to try to slip in ahead of Adam Harif, and Kazan Ramdani takes the opportunity to swing in and take the position from Adam Harif as well.
Oh, Murdoch really got so short there, but I think it's more or less a clean maneuver, so he can't be complaining about that. He'll be complaining to himself though. Look at that, he went wide behind, and now Jusmin is ready to pounce here. So he's going to make Murdoch's life even more miserable, losing more positions. And Ramdani, though, is catching up to the back of Cameron James.
Yeah, Cameron's just braking hard there, trying to keep a good average speed through this technical multi-apex corner here. Kanzani Ramdani loses out a little bit there to Adam Harif, who's actually trying to close in here to try to keep the battle and try to keep his teammates supported here as they still are buzzing through. Whoa, look at a huge hit on that sausage curve there. Adam Harif almost loses it, but still keeps it together and still stays on Kanzani Ramdani's tail.
Yeah, Look at that, left, right, and center. More battles here, and this is the inter-team battle.
Oh!
Oh! Adam Harif nearly committing a genocide on somebody there. Poor Ramdani. Well, wrong word to use in
Well,
a given moment.
yeah.
But anyway,
And Ahmad Jusmin,
Ramdani
yeah.
nearly got taken out there.
Ahmad Jusmin now coming alongside Adam Harvey. He's going to have a look around the outside here. He is going to be able to keep himself on the outside.
Oh!
Way off track. A bit of a bump between the two of them. But Adam Harvey will be able to recover and stays ahead of Ahmad Jusmin.
Well, Jusmin, he had eyes on there. You can see eyes on the car literally after this. And we can get a shot. He had eyes on the back of Adam Harif's car, but he just couldn't get by. There you go. Those are the eyes. Look at that. Shinya Nakano helmet style. But Murdoch manages to hang on to 5th, as well as Cameron hanging on to 3rd. And this all started right here, the very previous lap, where Cameron overtook Murdoch, and it all broke out from then on.
Yeah, Kazani Ramdani has lost out a bit of pace here compared to Cameron James. A bit of a gap is now forming between the two of them. But then again, you know, we still have 24 minutes left in this race. Kazani Ramdani can still potentially try to play the longer game here and hopefully save a little bit more performance on his tires to challenge Cameron James towards the very end of this race. So things already settling down very much for our top 10, although we do see Jerry Yu, who had lost a bit of places now, stuck behind Ahmed Hakim, trying to regain some positions here.
Yeah, we saw Jerry was actually up in the middle of that top 10 before a slight spin, dropped him nearly outside of it, but he managed to stay in front of the silver class guys, and he's on the cusp of the top 10, so it's still good points to be earned as, oh, is that someone going off? No, it's one of the bollards. Yeah. One of the advertising hoardings, so I thought there was a car there, as Jerry loses time.
Yeah, loses time cutting through the grass on the apex there. That definitely lost him a lot of momentum there. The AstroTurf on this track definitely slows you down quite a lot. Marcus Lacambra on the chase onto Chester Elog. Chester is currently leading in that silver class here. Alonso in the Hatsune Miku car is desperate to try to regain that position here and to be able to confirm at least an unofficial victory here in the silver class. But in order to do that, he needs to be ahead of his rivals, no less Chester Elog, who's currently ahead of him.
Yeah, Elog is doing his bit to keep his hopes alive because it is very, very close between all of them. Remember, it's 23 points separating the top 4 in the silver class. You cannot slice it any closer than that, isn't it? The top 4 being that close on the track, though. Zeph Yuen, unfortunately, is not with us in this round, so the championship boils to the top 3 that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, Alonso is just edging closer and closer to Elog from corner to corner right now. Coming onto the back straight, he's actually getting a bit of a slipstream off of Chester's car, so this might actually work out well for him. Chester, though, is keeping himself close, but Alonso still is going to try to elbow his way through onto the apex now. It's going to be a little bit ahead. Chester's going to cut back onto him on the exit here, side by side, onto the next straight here. Chester Elog might be a slight disadvantage right now, as Alonso will have the inside coming into the next sweeper, as right now the Hudson goes through and slides out completely. Chester Elo continues on, so does Ima Ryan, so does Azim Mokhtar.
And we can pick up Lacambra right now. We can see he was actually being off the timing screens, but now we got him. I don't think he'll be smiling for long. You can see he's puckering his lips a bit, knowing that, oh, that's not a mistake that he wanted to do, not at this crucial juncture.
I mean, the good news for him at least is that the guys who passed him not too far ahead, so he perhaps could try to find some kind of recovery in the next 20 minutes or so. I mean, right now Chester is back in the lead of the silver class, and again, with the point situation being that close, we don't know how exactly to call it for the silver race here, so we'll have to see how things will transpire after the next 21 minutes. In the meantime, though, for Alberto Miguel Descalo, he's right now on the chase here, the next challenger to Chester Elog's lead here.
Yep, and behind him is Iman Ryan, who is the closest to Lacambra in the championship fight. He'll be probably laughing gleefully, knowing that his main championship round just spun, but he cannot hold his laugh for too long. He cannot be laughing for too long because he knows full well the job's not done yet.
Katsuri Randani has made a mistake on track. He's got like 1 whole second in the negative, in the positive for his delta here, and that's putting him in the clutches of Adam Harif right now. So perhaps a potential battle going on here for the gold class, while Azib Shami Mokhtar continues to spy on Iman Ryan, getting the run up onto Alberto Miguel Descalo. Both of these drivers also in the running for the championship. So is Azib Shami Mokhtar as well, mind you. So it's very, very close battle between these guys now, coming close together on a heartbreaking zone here. Ooh, this is looking like such an exciting situation here for the silver class drivers.
Very dicey, and of course Azib is playing for keeps here right now because there's no way he's in for a championship fight for this season at least. So he will love to get out on the high after what was a tough season. No, Iman!
Oh!
Iman goes up a bit wide there, and he relinquishes third place to Azib.
Yeah, Azib is going to hang on there. He's going to have to try to block off Iman Ryan, but Iman still tries to find a way around the outside, still stays alongside him through this multi-apex corner. This is going to be very tricky for him, but Azib Shami Mokhtar still stays ahead throughout, goes a little bit on the AstroTurf here. Iman Ryan still going to try to have a look on the inside. No, cancels that idea. Azib Shami Mokhtar still stays in P14 for now.
Yep, and meanwhile behind him is Amrafiq and Lakambra. They're fighting for it, and there we go. The other Papega car's under attack, and the Hatsune Miku car goes through. Lakambra slides his way into P5 in the silver class.
Yeah, still going to be on the recovery here for sure because he still needs to catch up to Chester, but no! Amir Afik fights back on the final corner, tries to stay alongside Alonso Marcus Lakambra on the main straight.
Side by side they go. The driver on the Hatsune Miku car is aiming for Formula 1 as his dream, alongside the Toyota Malaysia rookie at one point. Side by side each other, they hit, and Lakambra manages to go through. I don't think they'll be complaining too much about it. Both of them had a good hard fight, but it's Lakambra who's on a recovery drive, the man on a mission to get back up into points contention for the championship.
Yeah, I think I just saw Jerry Yu and Ayman Hakim Abbas getting
no!
a spin. Oh, a spin out there. I think that's Ayman. Was that Ayman who got spun out? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, dropped down to 11. He's going to try to recover back, but Jeremy Yu has successfully taken a position, but at what cost here?
Well, we'll have to wait and see whether or not the Stewards book is going to be thrown that way. As you can see further up in front, this is the battle for P3 overall. And in the gold class, Ramdani hounding the back of Cameron James. And Cameron James actually was inquiring whether or not he could race on the Peninsula Malaysia side a couple of days ago, whether or not he could race at the Axel Center, but he manages to get a flight back to Sarawak in time and ready to get out here to get a podium to end off what has been for himself a stop-start season, but he'll love that on a high.
Yeah, but as of right now, Kazai Randani is giving him a lot of pressure here, so he's going to have his work cut out for the next 18 minutes of racing here. Kazai Randani from Indonesia is no slouch either in the racing department, so Cameron James is going to have to put every last bit of his talent into play here. Now the slipstream is going to favor Kanzani coming in here. It goes with a dive onto the inside. Goma shoots it completely. Kanzani Ramdani does, and Cameron James still stays in P3.
And that will allow Murdoch to get back up to the back of the Indonesian as well. So he had the line, he had the advantage, but he couldn't get it stopped in time. And look at that. The subsequent knock-on effect is that his car has been a bit out of shape, but though this part will probably get him back into racing groove.
Yeah, well, with Adam Harif still behind there, Kanzani Ramdani, I mean, for Adam, if he can just close in to Kanzani, he would be able to keep the pressure onto him and to help keep him off of Cameron James' back. But Kanzani, look at that, just recovers back brilliantly. Now still gets back onto Cameron James' tail. So it's still not quite over here. Cameron's still going to have to fight hard here to maintain his podium position.
And again, the balance of performance between the hypercars has been very good, isn't it? You can see that the top three alone is 3 different manufacturers. It's a good balance, and luckily that the cars have provided some really good racing the past few seasons, and may continue for a few seasons more after this. As we can see again, everyone's favorite class of car in the world right now is delivering it top trumps.
Yeah, top of the charts for sure here. As right now, wow, it's still going to be very much a battle of wits here between Cameron James and Kanzani Ramdani. A lot of focus between these two. And Harif, unfortunately, left a little bit far behind here, so it's not going to be able to provide too much support to Cameron James as much as Cameron would love to have his teammate come up here to keep Kanzani under pressure, to prevent him from being able to try for another move. He's going to try to go for another dive this time. This time, he sticks the landing, though. Cameron James takes a wider line, tries to cut back on the exit. Still, it's going to be on the outside of this next turn here. Cameron James, he loses out. He actually backs out of it.
Well, that's a very smart bit of driving because he knows full well being on the outside. You remember Cassian Mines back to 2011 between Massa and Hamilton when they both collided each other at that very point. He might have taken a few notes from that one and just said, okay, still a long way to go. In fact, we're almost halfway into the race. So this first half may end not the way he liked it, but he still can fight for the next half.
Yeah,
something happened to Murdoch.
Something happened to Murdoch. He's already dropped off behind Mama Azza here. He lost a lot of time, actually, what I can see here, 2.68 seconds in this delta. So he made a massive mistake, and that allowed Mama Azza to move up into 5th place. That support that Cameron James was hoping to get from Adam Harif has not come to pass.
Unfortunately, yes, and that will mean that he will have to fight for his own race after this. As meanwhile, something interesting happening in the silver class. There is Aziz Shami Mokhtar. He's right behind Descalzo, and Chester Elog still holding it in front here. So can you imagine if we exclude the hypercars out of the way, the fight between these guys is almost a 5-way even, because there's the Elog, Descalzo, the two Filipinos in front, and then you have Elog's not that far away either. So Aziz Shami Mokhtar in third, then Iman Ryan in fourth, the Bruneian, fifth Lakambra, who's on a recovery drive. So you can't take your eyes off the silver class either.
Yeah, I mean, Iman Ryan is actually closing in on the Aziz Shari Mokhtar, so I think we may be thinking about making a move soon. And also, did Kanzani Ramdani already get past Cameron James just off camera earlier? Yeah, so now Kanzani Ramdani is up into the podium here. So Cameron James loses out on that battle that has been absolutely close between the two of them all throughout. Now the battle's even closer here in the silver class. Iman Ryan closing in, goes for the dive in the final corner here. Alberto Miguel, because Descalzo is ahead of him. Aziz Shami Mokhtar on the outside, not able to close the door fully on him is Iman Ryan, though, as he loses the position back to his Aziz Shami Mokhtar. He's going to have to try once again.
And that's not what he wanted. He wanted to get that move done on Azib quickly so that he could just work on the Filipinos afterwards. Because behind him is Lakambra, his main championship rival, in the lead of that particular title race, and only 2.5 seconds behind. So the advantage he had earlier after Lakambra's half spin is being negated because he's being held up by the rostrum holders.
Yeah, he's going to have to find a way through, but Azib's so much faster on the exits here, so he's going to have a lot of work to do here in order to get past not only him, but also Alberto Miguel Descalzo. So, well, we'll see how this will turn out. 13 minutes still remaining in this race, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. This is going to go to a showdown in the final lap for sure.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your screens, and 3 of them are in a championship fight. This cannot go any closer in the final race of the entire season in silver. 13 points, 23 points, sorry, it's separated between that top 4 into the final round. Unfortunately, Zef Yuen has excluded himself out of this race, but we still have a ding-dong battle, and we cannot call it either way. The points distribution in this last round is so huge.
Yeah, I think Ahmad Jusmin is getting a move on to Adam Harif right now. Ahmad Jusmin now alongside him, tries to get a dive around the outside, didn't quite make it through there. Adam Harif still stays in, but no, he goes a little bit wide. Ahmad Jusmin had to avoid contact with him and slows down.
Well, they did contact. You can see the front left corner of Jusmin's car hit the rear right of Murdoch's car. They both managed to hang on to it, but Jusmin had an even wilder moment. That wingless Peugeot looking like it was more of a Formula Ford car than a hypercar with wings and slicks.
Yeah, well, Adam Harif now trying to keep his car wide, but Ahmad Jusmin is trying to cut in on the apex there. Didn't quite make the momentum work for him, though. Adam Harif still stays at least half a second ahead. No, actually even more than that right now as we come up into the uphill section here on Buddh Circuit. A bit of a bump grind there. Adam Harif goes off as well. So does Ahmad Jusmin, though. So neither of them actually gain an advantage through there, despite having mistakes on either end.
And behind them, Velasquez, who himself survived a couple of skirmishes in the early part of the race. He's back up onto the cusp of at least into the mid-pack of the top 10. But he'll be watching brief. You never know if Jusmin and Harif will just whack each other and Velasquez will pick up 2 freebies. But again, that's just wishful thinking for him on his part. It's a bit of a lost cause at this point. As you can see there, Murdoch makes a mistake coming through turn number 1. There's a lot of Jusmin to come into turn number 3 on the inside. Side by side they go. That was so close, but Murdoch invited Jusmin to come in and box him on the exit. Now it's Velasquez's chance to get into the slipstream.
How the heck did Adam Harif still keep his position there? He had no business. Still staying ahead of Ahmad Jusmin despite the mistake, but Ahmad actually loses a lot of momentum. Michael Vincent Velasquez now all over the Peugeot. Tries to take the dive on the inside. He is going to be able to keep the apex here. Ahmad Jusmin is going to try to wrap around, but no, he gets blocked off. He loses the position here. Michael Vincent Velasquez up to P7 now, still with the Peugeot right behind him in chase.
Oh, wow. And to think, in the previous lap, we thought that both of them might have spun it when Jusmin was on the inside of Murdoch. Either way, it's close between the guys in the silver class because Iman Ryan is up to the back of Aziz Shami Mokhtar. Azib slips onto the inside. They're going side by side across the start-finish line. This time, Iman has the advantage, but who's going to be brave on the brakes? Azib knows full well that if he hangs around the outside, he might get whacked off. He still hangs on to it, and fair play to the both of them. They give each other plenty of racing room, and Iman Ryan might just be able to hold on to it unless Azib can do it again. But no, The hairpin favors Ryan this time. Oh, does he?
Slides out.
Slides out. And, oh,
Yeah, still keeps it together, still keeps it side by side right now. Iman Ryan and Azib Mokhtar in an absolute battle here. You can see from Alonso Marcus Lacambra's perspective here, he's just a little bit far off from the two of them, to be fair, but you can still see how close the racing is between these two. Azib Shami Mokhtar still running.
Oh!
Iman Ryan blocks up his brakes, almost clabbers into Azib Shami Mokhtar, but both of these guys still able to keep it on the track right now. Azib now getting a slipstream off of Iman Ryan. He's going to try to have a look on the inside. Cancels it there. It's a very close moment here for the two of them.
Oh, in fact, Azib did get clobbered by Iman there. Luckily, though, a very minimal contact that allows both of them to continue on, but a couple of points of aero might have been lost there, and the case in point, look at that. You can see that Azib, maybe because of aero wash or a bit of the damage that he sustained from that hit, it's just losing it. Now, look at behind them. That is Chester Lam.
Yep, Chester Lam is actually catching up to the silver class drivers. The leader in the gold class is now lapping our silver class leaders right now. That's how much the speed differential is between the two of them. Look at that. Chester already getting through one. Now he's going to go and gobble up the second one very soon here. You can see Keith Moore is also getting into the mix as well, trying to keep up with Chester Lam. The traffic is actually helping to keep both of these guys together. Iman Ryan, though, is going to try to cut in front of Chester Elong. Alberto Descalo, he's already up into P2 here.
And you know what? It's going to help out more the fact that Chester's going to overtake, or does he? He gets him in the most inopportune moment. This might actually put pay to the effort that he did to overtake for second, but no, he manages to hang on to it. Chester inadvertently helps him out.
Yeah, Iman Ryan now on the cuffs of victory here.
Oh no!
Back there, Alberto spins and he collects Keith Moore. Keith Moore loses a lot of time as a result.
And that allows Lacambra to pick up a position. This is not what Iman Ryan wanted, because he thought that he had the move done to just get him closer to Lacambra. But here we go. Lacambra is now back in the box seat.
Fancy that. It's usually like the silver class getting in the way of the gold class battle, but this time it's a gold class getting in the way of a silver class battle.
Amazing stuff. We cannot foresee this coming. And guess what? Keith Moore again still boxed in. He had 1.7 seconds to make up to Chester Lam. Now it's 4 seconds because he caught the LMP2 guys in the worst possible moments, and then some. Meanwhile, something happened to Jusmin. Jusmin's going off!
No! Off into the walls. There goes Jusmin. He'll lose us out. Michael Vincent Velasquez moves up ahead. Cameron James is right now under pressure, or rather was under pressure just now. This time around, he's pressuring Muhammad Asa here, who's collected a bit of traffic ahead of him. Has to get past Muhammad Kamal Ali, who's left out in a very awkward position, but Cameron James will be able to dispatch him as well and get back onto the chase for P4.
Oh wow. All the while then, we have to go back to the battle for the championship contenders in silver, because Lacambra now is pressuring Azib Shami Mokhtar.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer. He still wants to be able to secure this championship here for himself. He's already experienced quite a bit of chaos in this race. Now he wants to get himself back up onto the top step. But this time, he needs to get past Azib Shami Mokhtar. It's going to be quite the tall order here. 6 minutes and a bit to remain here in this race. Azib goes a little bit wide, but still is able to get it on the exit. Still going to be quite a while before Alonso's going to be able to catch up, isn't it?
And you can see he's ducking in like a Carter would instinctively to just tuck in and get a slipstream, but he knows full well that that might not help out. He's adjusting his car as much as possible here, even adjusting his glasses on the way into the corner. He knows full well, target in front, acquired. Chester Elong might just win this race, but he has Iman Ryan back in his sights. Amazingly, after what was a heart-in-mouth moment, spinning out wide, he thought the championship was lost. Now it's back in his favor.
Yeah, and mind you, like at this stage of the race, you know, the tire situation is not looking good for everyone across the board. I'm seeing a lot of orange in the deltas right now, which means they're losing time, which means that the tires are not in their prime conditions here. This could be a very dicey situation for everyone, especially those who are in the chase for the championship here. They're literally hanging on for dear life out of track here, and 5 minutes still remain in this race.
Wow, can you imagine if the championship in silver is decided by someone's tires giving out earlier? Remember, punctures are possible in this game. Oh no! Lacambra. Oh, Lacambra hung on to that one. He had his heart in his mouth there. You can see he's affording a bit of a wry smile, but he knows full well anything could go completely wrong. and an effort of 4 rounds would just go to waste if a single small mistake happens.
Yeah, wow, just talk about pressure right now for the championship leaders in the silver class. Iman Ryan, in the meantime, still on the chase, on the Chester Elo. It's only within half a second here, and with 5 minutes remaining, this is a perfect position for Iman Ryan to be in, especially after having gone through all of that chaos there with Chester Lam and Keith Moore getting in the midst of their battle. Now Iman Ryan is on the cusp of giving Chester Elo a fight for the title here in the silver class. Let's see how this will turn out.
Yep. Well, you carry on this. I'm trying to go over the permutations. We did say earlier, let's not focus on that, but because it's so nip and tuck,
I know,
you never know what's going to happen.
Well, in any case, Iman is going to try to close it as much as he can to Chester Elo. He still has plenty of time here to go to ensure that he stays within position. But as of right now, it is literally going to be a showdown in the final lap when it comes to these two guys. I mean, for Keith Moore and Chester Lam right now, you know, they're very much separated from the rest of the pack. Very much a clear road ahead of them. I don't foresee traffic being of any kind of hindrance for both of these drivers for the rest of this section right now. But oh boy, look at where Kanzani Ramdani is, stuck behind a bit of traffic. Now he's already getting through some of the silver class drivers. Let's see if he's going to be able to get catch up to the others here. Bit of a touch and go there for Alonso Marcus Camber, because right now he's having I believe that's Mama Azza, is that right behind him? Yeah, it's already getting caught up here from other gold class drivers, so this is becoming a bit of a situation here as Alonso goes over the curbs once more, and Mama Azza just slips on by him.
Yeah, and then he loses more ground to Aziz Shami Mokhtar, and look at that, there is Cameron James coming through.
Yep, Cameron James comes through, Mama Azza is already through, Michael Vincent Velasquez and Adam Harif are now coming through as well. You got Adam being held up a little bit by Alberto Miguel Descalo. Let's see how he's going to try to keep Michael behind him here. Well, on the straight here, he should be able to pass Alberto on that first turn. Will Michael do so as well? Braking very late indeed here. Try to get past the silver class driver. Has to take onto the curbing, but he is clear now. Continuing on his battle with Adam Harif.
And mind you, Swift Sim Racing does have Michael Vincent Velasquez in their lineup as well. So it was a bit of team play there, but luckily, nothing too untoward in terms of the overtake. Now, where is Lacambra in relation to Aziz Shami Mokhtar? As it manages to hang on to third despite the hypercars coming in the way for a second, and more and more hypercars are coming through.
Yeah, you already got Cameron James almost losing control there on the exit. That just goes to show how much these tires are struggling right now to stay on the track here as Chester Elo gets passed by Moma Azha. So Iman Ryan now closes in on the Chester, actually on the chicane. This could get a bit exciting here. 2.5 minutes to go, and Iman Ryan knows if there's any moment to strike, it is going to be now. But right around the outside, another gold class driver comes through. Iman has to let him pass because after all, the gold class driver is the faster car.
Yep, but tell that to Chester Elo. Chester holds Cameron James, and Cameron will not be liking that because he's losing ground to Azza. Oh no! Nearly loses it completely!
Yeah, almost slides out, but still manages to save in the nick of time. Now he's going to be able to get past Chester Elo, but that's put him in the clutches of Iman Ryan, who's looking to try to find the inside, but Chester just barely hangs on the head there. Still stays in the lead for the silver class.
Now, we normally look at gold class because the overall leaders, but this season somehow, the silver class has been on its head, has turned the tables for the fight, and we are seeing more silver class action here because the championship fight is that close. Again, we have to remind ourselves, 23 points separating the top 4 coming to this one. You cannot slice it any closer than that.
Yeah, I mean, 6 seconds separate both Chester Lam and Keith Moore. So as far as those two are concerned, unless there's a mistake that comes out of Chester Lam's part, and that man rarely makes mistakes, it looks like he might be able to secure the championship unofficially here. But for Chester, for Iman Ryan, it is still very much up in the air here. Who could be the silver class champion? Another gold class driver will be coming through here, this time passing Iman Ryan on the inside. I think that should be Adam Harif, and indeed it is. Now it's going to be coming up against Chester Elo, under braking right now. Chester has to give the space, so does Iman Ryan. Iman almost locks up his brakes in the process though, trying to keep up with Chester Elo, but still is not able to find a way through.
Yep, and more hypercars are coming. The last of one after this is Galandi Haki, so Haki will be the last of the guys they have to worry about after this. But we're really coming into the business end of the season. We probably can count the championship points after this when we're going into the intermission, just to give ourselves some ideas of who actually won this thing. But again, fastest lap's going to come into play, so those 4 points can still count And we don't know who holds it right now in these classes right at this point.
Yeah, Chester Elot now having to give way to Michael Vincent Velasquez, literally the last bit of that multi-apex turd. So now Eman Ryan can focus on getting Chester Elot because there's no other gold class drivers looking to make a pass quite yet. We're already seeing another car actually closing in on the two of them, so I stand corrected. But
Haki, yeah.
yeah, Galandi Haki now catching up to the two silver class leaders here. But Eman Ryan the whole time
Whoa!
way through. Oh boy, is that still Chester
Yes,
Elot?
it is!
Yes, he gets spun out. Chester Elot gets spun out at the end there by Galandi Haki, and Eman Ryan moves up into the lead of the silver class.
Oh, imagine if that loses him the title. That would be so controversial.
My goodness, it's it's always in multi-class racing that you do not interfere with other classes, but unfortunately the situation has come undone here for Chester Elot, losing out his lead to Galandi Haki, spinning him out on the final corner.
Oh, wow. Elot will be so miffed by that one. You know full well the win was on the cards for him, but then Haki, in an inopportune move, made it 2 for 1, but took out a 1 in the process.
Yeah, well, Alonso Marcus Lacamba still in full focus right now. We are on the final lap. Somebody's spinning out back. It's Galandi Haki who spins out. He spins out right on the cusp here, lets the silver drivers through, but man, still the damage has been done. But for Eman Ryan though, what a windfall has come his way here as Chester Lam now comes across the final corner and to the line he goes, waving his car as the checkered flag gets waved for him, the unofficial winner of the gold class from Chester Lam from Hong Kong. Keith Moore from Malaysia takes second place. Kansani Randami, about 10 seconds behind, will claim the third place. Mama Azhar will be coming in soon for the fourth place. We can still see the silver drivers continuing to chase to the end here. Azir Shami Mokhtar sees Eman Ryan ahead, but he's still quite far off. Still a lot of corners to go here, but Eman Ryan, all he needs to do is to bring it back. Mama Azhar takes a checkered flag in fourth. Cameron James takes a checkered flag for fifth. Michael Vincent Velasquez will be able to come in sixth, and Adam Harif comes in seventh. Jerry Yu comes in 8th place. Eman Ryan now comes across the final turn here. He's going to be able to lead it. He might just win it here for the silver class in the final race.
Yep, and that's a really, really nip and tuck battle. Kieran's out of the race. He was actually... no, in fact, he finished the race because he waited for Chester to come by. Meanwhile, second was Shami Mokhtar, and third is Alonso Marcus Lacambra. He got it out of the oven, and to the relief of his face, takes off the steering wheel, and now we'll have to bask in, waiting for the confirmation of who won that one. As Bradley Leo says, karma to Galandi Haki for that one.
Karma, well, yeah, in the immortal words of Alonso, karma indeed.
Oh!
Tries to celebrate, but Keith is like, no, not under my watch.
Come on, Keith, just let him have fun. And you can see Ramdani as well having a bit of fun on the outside, and the camera doesn't pick him up anymore. But, oh, wow.
Wow, what a race here, Amo. I mean, that's an incredible way to finish off the season here. I mean, the silver class, absolutely brilliant battles all around, and it's just so unfortunate here for Chester Elot. If it wasn't for that spin out caused by Galandi Haki, he could have been the one to win in this final race here, and that would certainly have helped his chances in the championship. But now that he's finished behind Alonso Lacambra, I think it's safe to say that that chance has just slipped past his fingers here.
Indeed. Now then, well, we're gonna actually go a bit for a break.
Yeah.
Calculate everything. We might just go into a splash screen after this because we need to just get an idea of who won which class first. But I think gold is definitely well and truly settled because Chester had a phenomenal race to the point that he was not seen on camera as often and just took it all from the Keith Mo's nose.
Yeah, I mean, literally took it from the start of the race, took the lead from Keith Mo, and took it from the first turn itself. And from that point, he never looked back. I mean, kind of like, in a nutshell, sums up how dominant he's been in this season, isn't it? Just when you think you want to try to count it out, nope, somehow he just comes right through and still takes the lead and still takes the race. So brilliant win here from Chester Lam, unofficially the winner of the gold class. We still have yet to figure out who's the winner for silver class, but certainly for Eman Ryan, he's going to be feeling his chances are pretty high for now, especially having taken the win here in this final race. Well, we'll be taking a short break here, but we'll be right back. Hopefully some updates here for GE17. We'll be right back after these messages.
Computer is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to eRacing GP. We've got Chester Lam in the house, the unofficial winner of the Gold Class GE17. Chester, tell me, how do you feel right now?
Hello.
Hey.
First of all, I'm so tired right now.
I expect. I mean, it's a really hard-fought season actually for you entirely. But I mean, it's been so impressive seeing the way you've been able to dominate so many of these races, and even up until the final one, the pass you managed to do on Keith Moore in the very start of the race, that was incredible. Could you describe exactly how you managed to pull that off in your estimation?
A lot of practice, I think.
I expect, yeah.
Some luck, obviously.
Yeah.
Just like this round, obviously I had some luck with the lap cars, and yeah, we actually me and Keith were level on pace this round, but yeah, he got a bit unlucky while unlapping those LMP2s, and he was he lost 4 seconds, I think, after that. So yeah, but he was actually really quick, and he could keep up with me most of the time, but he just got unlucky this round. Yeah, he was actually really quick throughout all the season. Yeah.
So I mean,
kudos.
Yeah, I mean, given what you just told me, it sounds like this last round in particular seems to be one of the harder rounds for you throughout the season, or do you feel there's been other rounds that you really had to work so hard in order to be able to keep this lead?
I think those, especially in those tracks that I've never driven on, just like this,
yeah,
the Sokol. Yeah, it obviously takes more time to get familiarized with the track and to actually be quick. Yeah, so I think this round it's very hard to get familiarized, because the track layout is actually very tricky, I'd say, in the middle sector.
For sure. I mean, not to mention also there's also another thing that could be complicated, especially with you playing from Hong Kong, the ping coming to our servers here in Singapore. Does that create an issue for you guys racing over there in Hong Kong?
I think actually not that quite of an impact, because I'm seeing at the server I only have 40 something ping, so
okay.
Yeah, it's actually okay. It's actually fine to race with others. There's not much of a ping issue in Hong Kong.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it must have been such a good feeling for you right now, especially having to be able to wrap this up in G17. I mean, like, I'd just like to ask, really, like, how do you feel about like what's going to be in the future, you know, for you here? I mean, now that you've already wrapped up this gold class championship here, you feel that this is going to, you know, open up doors for you for other competitions coming in the future?
We'll see. Because we'll see. I'm just looking for races to I don't know, to participate. I
love that. I love that. I mean, it feels like you're always on the hunt, right? You're always like always hungry, you know, for more championships. There is definitely a very good like attitude to have for sure. So last but not least, Chester, I mean, I'd like to give the floor to you. Anyone you'd like to shout out? Anything you'd like to say to our viewers at home? You can also do it in Cantonese if you like.
First of all, I think I'll thank Keith for like giving us a close championship battle. He's actually very quick throughout the season. He beat me in qualifying this round. So I think he has a bright future for him. So and secondly, thanks to Fang. I want to thank Pluto from my team, Pluto. Thanks for his support and for some. I don't know.
It's on your time. Don't worry. It's like take your time. I mean, come on. You are the champion for this season, man. The floor is all yours.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just thank him for the support.
Okay.
And my friends who are watching live. I saw Leroy. Thank you for the support.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chester Lam, the official champion for the gold class here in Global Edition 17. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. What an impressive performance you've done over these last 4 rounds. And thank you once again, Chester Lam. That was a brilliant race.
One final shout out.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Jerry.
Hey. Okay, thank you so much, Chester Lam. Congratulations once again for winning the gold class, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of you in the future here.
Thank you.
I like that little compartment that he races in. It looks like it's either under a bed or he has his own little unit that he can race in.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, that is actually quite a nice setup. I would love to have a bit of a roof like that to commentate, so it's a bit more soundproof.
Yeah, I mean,
when is it at home?
Yeah, literally having like ventilation literally right next to him there as well.
Yep.
So okay,
yeah.
now silver class.
Yes. Okay. So before we get to the final tally, imagine if Chester didn't get taken out just now. Well, he would have won the race. He scored 107 points. Second, if let's say Iman Ryan finished second that time, would have been 106. So he lost it by 1 point.
Ooh.
But Lakamba would have won it with 110. That is the hypothetical. That is actually the hypothetical.
Okay.
But how it played out was even more so. Okay, so winner of the race was Iman Ryan, and second place was Alisha Mimota. He was a non-factor there. Lakambra was third. But here's the points: 114 to Iman Ryan, 113 to Lakambra. 1 point! Just 1 point separated. And the fact that Lakambra managed to get the fastest lap of the race as well before he got spun out there. So again, we're waiting to see whether or not that collision that Lakambra had earlier might have actually been, protested afterwards. So this is provisional, but Iman Ryan just won the championship by 1 single point.
And that's unfinished. Mind you, this is still unofficial at the moment, but wow. I mean, wow. That's an incredibly close one here. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I am at loss for words here. Yes, that's extremely close. But again, yeah, if Chester had actually won the race, it would have been completely different. It would have been a much clearer victory there for Alonso. So
yeah, by just 3 points ahead of Chester, and Iman would in turn on 106, so 4 points separating the top 3 towards the end. But that is how it plays out for now. We're waiting for the stewards to come by because I'm pretty sure the work behind the scenes for the stewards to clear that out is underway right now, big time. But what a championship fight! We did not expect Silver Class to come out this way to be the closest one. Yeah, that's
Stewart.
Stewards.
It's just, I think it's in the house here. Wow,
Yes.
my goodness.
Okay. All right, now he has to get out of the way so that we can close off the show properly.
Wow, this is wow, again, what an incredible end to this. I mean, we will still wait until the official results are out, until the steward, at least Afik, our race steward here, will be able to finish off figuring out exactly how things will turn out. But based on what you've shown me here, this is incredible. This is like, if it wasn't for that spin out there from Chester, this would not have happened here at all, wouldn't it?
Wow. Yeah, because again, based on what happened in the race, if Haki didn't take out Chester, that would have been an even closer title fight between the 3 drivers' top positions. But provisionally, Iman won by just 1 point. Provisionally. But we're waiting for the stewards' reports to come out later, and only then we'll find out who the champion is. But for now, it's been incredible. Silver has provided the best championship fight of the lots.
By a mile here. I mean, wow, what a way to end things here for the Global Edition 17. Wow, we're definitely going to be looking forward to GE18 will be coming towards the end of this year. Make sure you guys stay tuned on our social medias to be notified as soon as we officially announce the dates for that. We also have the Endurance Edition. It's going to be coming up before that. So if you guys are looking to enjoy some endurance style racing here in the virtual world, do also come on down to the eRacing GP here. We're going to be having a lot of races and a lot of more activities to come here. So, wow. At the end of this season now, this has been an incredible end for the Global Edition 17. My name is Victor Cax. Joining me here is Ammo, and we have been absolutely thrilled to see the end here for Global Edition 17, and we hope to see you all in the next one. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night and good luck.